Welcome to the Ford Game of the Week, presenting tonight the OSSAA 6A State Swimming Championships from the Mitch Park YMCA Aquatic Center here in Edmond, Oklahoma. Let's now join our public address announcer, Mr. Alan Meyer.
Welcome to the Edmond School Aquatic Center, the host of the 2018 6A State Swimming Championships. At this time, we would like you to stand for the playing of our national anthem. Today, we have a young lady from Edmond, Santa Fe, a freshman, who is going to play her violin. It's Ariane Tayton.
Taking care of our national anthem before we get underway here, the 6A State Swim Championships from the Edmond Aquatic Center. I'm Steve Marshall. Max McKnight is alongside. Promises to be a very entertaining evening here, and of course we're going to have the introduction of our Special Olympians here in just a moment. Max, what a sight this is, too, to watch them all parade, just like all the other students, the swimmers, getting ready to compete here. This is a big, big moment for them, and it's always one of the coolest things that I get to see all year long.
Steve, this, I've said before, working this meet and getting to broadcast, just one of the highlights of my year, but each day when we do this is the highlight of that day. Seeing these athletes come out, the enthusiasm of the crowd, parading in, then to swim their event, just awesome. Have to see who all we have here. I think it looks like we have the whole allotment that we were expecting.
In lane 4, Aiden Little.
We'll take a look here. Aiden Little will be in lane 4. Lane 3 is Macy Dickinson. In lane 2 will be Reese Wathen. And they are the Sea Lions, coached by Brian Wathen. Again, our Special Olympian swimmers here tonight. And the rest of the group we'll have in lane 5, Katie Liu, Lance Lowry in lane 6, Steve Lynn in lane 7, and Kirsty McCoy in lane 8. The Team USA is coached by Megan Korn.
Athletes are in the pool. Looks like we may have a latecomer that's trying to come along here. We'll see what happens here.
Got a late entrant who's going to take off his shirt on the far side. He's made it. That's great.
He's suited up.
We just want to make a grand appearance,
yeah,
right?
He's made a grand appearance. We'll see if he's going to goggle up too, or if he's going to go old school and go without. Get some assistance.
Very cool. And that is Reese Wathen, who has just checked in.
Reese Wathen is in lane 8.
So we have our 6 swimmers, if I'm counting right. And they are set to go.
Starter gives the command, they're off. fierce race out in 5 and 6. Katie Lou, Lance Laurie. The leaders hit the wall and make the turn to come back. Reese Wathen over there in lane 8. Kind of a little late show, but he's stroking down through there. He's about to touch at the 25 and make the turn to head for home. Really stroking hard. Who's it going to be, Steve? Can't tell. Look like lane 7.
Steve Lynn looks to be our winner in our first race here, the race of the Special Olympians for 2018. And you can hear just the constant cheering from everybody in attendance here, understanding exactly what it is that we are seeing.
Very exciting. Have a couple of swimmers still working their way down through the 25. Don't know if that was Katie Lou just finishing now or Macy Dickinson. Crowd really behind Reese Wathen, who works his way under the flags, making his way for the touchpad.
Great job, Reese. Come on, bring it home and finish
There
it.
you go. Crowd really behind him.
Fantastic.
Hope everybody at home can hear how loud that is.
That's how you start off an evening of swimming. Right there with a number of the Special Olympians participating. And Reese Wathen, Macy Dickinson, Aiden Little, Katie Lou, Lance Lowry, Steve Lynn, and Kirsty McCoy.
And as they finish and exit the pool, OSSAA has a medal for each of them, show their completion of this event here at the state championships.
See a couple of the swimmers making their way out of the pool. In the background there, we can see the team from Norman North, Max, and apparently they're one that is in strong contention for another state title.
Norman North is sure going to be in contention for this thing today. I think Jinx on the men's side is going to be a battle between those back and forth. Just like it was last year, came down to the final relay last year. I think it'll do the same thing this year. Just a quick look on the girls' side. Time I've spent on the deck the last couple of days talking to coaches and all. Bartlesville is going to be the team to beat on the girls as they look to repeat as champions again this year.
We saw Stillwater go for a 4th consecutive and get that. That's exactly what the Bartlesville girls will be doing here this evening as they go for their 4th consecutive state championship title. There's the presentation of the awards. See Amy Castle from the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association. Getting a high 5, high 10. Great job. The folks recognizing what it is that they see, what's going on at this moment. And if you've been part of the swimming family, so to speak, for the last number of years, how long has this been going on? The Special Olympians been coming in.
You know, I think they've been doing it as long as I've been following along here. We moved back to the state in
A round of applause.
Got a poser.
in 2006. I think they've been doing it at least that long. You know, everybody in here standing for these young athletes. It's just great. Timers are all right there close, have a front row seat for this whole process.
Getting the fist bump.
Fist bumps, high fives from swimmers and timers along the way.
Playing the crowd. That's great.
What a way to start a meet.
All right, we are set to get underway in what is hopefully for many of these swimmers something they will never forget. Our first event will be the girls' 200-yard medley relay. This will be the B final coming up, and there's a look at the field, Max.
Run down through the list of entries here in the B final. In lane 1, we have Putnam City High School. Lane 2, Westmore. Lane 3, Owasso. Lane 4, Enid. Lane 5, Union. Lane 6, Mustang. Lane 7, Norman. Medley relay is comprised of 4 swimmers. Each swimmer will swim a 50-yard leg. First stroke after the start is the backstroke. These backstrokers make the turn, head back. Second leg swimmers will swim the breaststroke, followed by the third leg, the butterfly, and then the final leg is the freestyle. Get ready for the first exchange. Over in lane 5, Union with a 30-55 enters the water first. In lane 6, Mustang with 32-73. And third, we have Owasso with 32-86. A lot of times breaststroke will kind of equalize. There'll be a lot of give and take in this stroke. Does look like lane 5, Union, continues to maintain that lead, but lane 6, Mustang closing up on them a little bit. Don't want to overlook Owasso in lane 3. Looks like they may actually touch first for that exchange. Indeed, Owasso with a 105.99, Union with a 106.43, 107.01 for Mustang. Race seems to have tightened up here in the fly as they hit their turn at the 25. Almost simultaneously, they all touched. It's like lane 4's Enid has edged out to a little bit of a lead. They're going to touch first as she turns it over to the freestyler, 134.07. Mustang continues their hold on second with a 135.04. Then in third, Union with a 135.8. See what these sprint freestylers can do on the final leg as they come along. Little underwater shot there as they make the turn. Here they come. Enid has a pretty good lead. Looks like they have about a body length lead. They're going to win this B final in a 2:02.27, followed by Owasso with a 2:03.25. Mustang with a 2:03.72 round out the top 3 here in the women's B final.
So Enid is your winner in the Class B final of the girls' 200-yard medley relay, and that'll bring us the A final. State record time 1:43.53, set by Bartlesville back in 2016. Bartlesville looks like they had a prelim run last night that was pretty close to that. Should be a good A final of the girls' 200-yard medley relay as the swimmers march their parade, bring it around, get ready for the start of our A final in the girls' 200-yard medley relay.
Swimmers come in, they're getting high fives from teammates and fans and coaches. They work their way behind the blocks and finding their lanes. Line up for this A final, find in lane 1, Jinx. Lane 2, Edmond Memorial. Lane 3, Edmond North. Lane 4, Bartlesville. Lane 5, Bixby. Lane 6, Norman North. Lane 7, Broken Arrow. And in lane 8, Edmond Santa Fe. For you scorekeepers at home, want to keep track as we go along. We'll be giving updates, but the relays do count double points. Winner of this event, this heat, take home 40 points towards their run at the state championship. 8th place in this heat, score 22. 18 for the winner of the B heat, and 2 for the final finisher in the B heat.
Racers set to go in the pool, and they're off.
Looked like a good start. Looks like we have Eaton for Jinx, Callahan for Edmond Memorial, Sava for Edmond North, Shipman for Bartlesville, Henderson for Bixby, Wong for Norman North, Kramer for Broken Arrow, Cleves for Edmond Santa Fe. Real tight race in 4 and 5 between Bartlesville and Bixby. As they come to make the exchange to the breaststroke leg. Good pull out. Bartlesville has Kate Stewart. Really great start for her. Got a lot of distance off of her start and her underwaters. She makes the turn. She's really separated herself from the rest of these breaststrokers as they motor back down through here, coming to exchange for the butterfly leg. Greta Olson, butterflyer for Bartlesville, is in the water. Really good underwater from her as well. Bartlesville with a 55.57 at the exchange. Bixby with a 101.09. Edmond North in third with a 101.50. Greta Olson just continues to extend her lead. She comes back through here, getting ready to make the exchange to Sydney Perry, their sprint freestyler. Hits the water with a 120.81. Has quite a big lead. Looks like she's going to have a little over 8-second lead over Bixby with a 129.18, 129.48 for Edmond North. Have to see how they come close to this record. 143.53 is the record. Just going to miss it with a 144.48. But to bring home the 40-point first place. Going to be Bixby bring home second place with a 153.58. Third goes to Edmond North with a 155.04. Then a 157.24 for Norman North.
All right, so the first events of the day are complete. Let's look at the final standings once again. And then they show us very quickly the next event that is coming up. That'll be the boys 200-yard medley relay. Smaller field in this race. Looks like just 4 racers here in this one.
Field for the boys B final be Mustang in lane 3, Tulsa Union in 4, Yukon High School in 5, and Moore in lane 6. Pretty big spread in this. Union enters in this top seed in this heat with a 150.07. Fourth qualifier in this heat, Moore with a 201.78. These teams all qualified yesterday in the prelims. We'd go throughout the day. The top qualifier will always be in lane 4. So B finals as well. B finals, lane 4 would have been the 9th fastest. A final, lane 4 would have been the first fastest. Mustang, early lead in the race at the exchange to the breaststroke with a 27.24, 29.28 for Union. Looks like we have Jaden Anderson from Union in the lead. He comes on, exchanges to the butterfly, hands it over. Braden Townsell hands it off to Jaden Anderson for Union. Union has taken the lead with a 58.30. Mustang with a 101.17. Yukon with a 102.87. And Moore rounding out these 4 with a 107.11. Jaden Anderson maintaining that lead. He brings it in, going to turn it over to Garrett Sledge for Union with a 125.72. Blake Eberhardt for Yukon. Draper Gostry for Mustang. And Braden Pittner for Moore. Garrett Sledge makes the turn, heading for home. Got his legs really into it, stroking hard, grabs one last breath as he passes under the flag. Going to win the B heat with a 149.79. Yukon brings home second, 153.81. 155.19 for Mustang. Rounding out these 4 of the B heat is Moore with a 202.21.
All right, so that is the B final in the boys 200-yard medley relay. Now we come to the championship, the A final, as the swimmers make their appearance there. Owasso
bringing them in on the far side of the pool from us. Owasso will be in lane 1. Lane 2 will be Edmond Santa Fe. Lane 3, Enid. Fast qualifier for this heat, Norman North with a 137.14. Jinx will be in 5. Edmond Memorial in 6. Edmond North in 7. And in 8, lane 8 will be Norman. Probably a little not a coincidence. The 2 teams we've mentioned earlier, I'm probably going to watch all day, starting off this first race of the day, just side by side, Norman North and Jinx. Norman North out-qualified them a little over 2 seconds. We'll see how it shakes out here in the final.
Those two are the only schools to break the 140 barrier. Norman North in their prelim 137.14 and Jenks 139.80. Boys 200-yard medley relay. This is the A final. And every point important, obviously, all throughout the day.
Good clean start. See a lot of good long underwaters there as these guys come up, start stroking. They do have to surface by the 15-meter mark. They all accomplish that easily. They make the turn and head back. Well, this is a dead heat as they come back. Looks like Magby actually out there in lane 6 or 8 may actually be in the lead in this. Was lane 6 Memorial with a 24.85, followed very closely by Norman at a 25 flat. Then in lane 4, Norman North. As these guys turn on the breaststroke leg, looks like the lead has already changed just in that 25. Looks like Norman North has taken the lead. Really a pretty good lead. They have about a body length on Memorial at the turn. Norman North hits the water first halfway through with a 51.20. Jenks with a 53.09. Actually had a tie for second there at that exchange between Jenks and Memorial, with Enid in 4th. Butterflies coming in, getting ready to hand it over to the anchor leg. Norman North in first with a 1:14.64. Jenks with a 1:16.69. Memorial with a 1:18.86. Followed real close by Enid with a 1:19.35. Norman North holding the lead, stretching it out a little bit. Look like they're going to finish 2 or 3 body lengths ahead. Norman North 1:36.23. 1:39.96 for Jenks in second. Memorial with a 1:41.22 to round out the top 3 in this A final of the men's 200 medley relay.
All right, those are our first 2 events. We'll take a timeout, continue our coverage of the 2018 6A State Swim Championship, brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers.
There could be a girl in the NFL, which that would be pretty amazing, but I mean, those guys are huge. Huge. So I mean, that girl has to be also huge. I'm pretty sure. Let's hope. I don't think anytime soon, but I'm pretty sure one of these days that a girl's gonna get in there.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink in a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Slamming it down! A 3 for the game!
You want more of that? We got you. Half season, half price.
Wow, what a finish!
Get access to all the teams.
We gotta see it!
Oh, you just want to watch your team. No sweat.
It's all about us, nope.
Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. To order NBA League Pass, call 844-371-3529.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
Welcome back to the Ford Dealers Game of the Week. It's the OSSAA Swimming Finals, Class 6A. We've already had 5A, Max, and my unofficial count had 9 state records out of the 11 events that took place earlier today, and we could look for something similar to that in 6A. Do you foresee?
I think we're going to probably see records fall at that same kind of rate tonight. Real close times yesterday. I think there were a couple of records set yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised to see 9 again this afternoon.
All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, it'll be the girls' 200-yard freestyle as we continue our coverage of the 6A State Swimming Championships from Edmond.
It's Ford Truck Month at your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Our biggest sales event of the year. Now's the time to save on our full line of Ford trucks and Ford SUVs, America's most trusted brand. Save big on Escape, Edge, and Explorer, and the redesigned Expedition. A huge selection, the best offers. Now, current Ford owners get 0 for 60 plus $2,000 cash on Escape and Edge when financed through Ford Credit. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
What's the worst part about moving? Other than moving? Downgrading your internet, since AT&T doesn't offer their fastest speeds in every part of town. With Cox, you get access to the same fast internet speeds everywhere, no matter where you move. With AT&T, you're putting everything in their hands. Is that the kind of internet service you want?
Cox offers speed options up to 300 megs and the same fast speeds everywhere you move. AT&T just doesn't stack up. Visit cox.com/challenge to learn more.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma. The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
Cox.com/learn.
Welcome back. 6A State Swim Championships brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Next event on our list, it is the B final of the 200-yard freestyle.
Qualifiers for this B final: Barker from Broken Arrow in 1, Siklowski from Norman in 2, Kramer from Broken Arrow in 3, Ernest from Bartlesville in 4, Jones from Jinx in 5, Vargas from Jinx in 6, Hamilton from Mustang in 7, and Parker from Edmond Memorial round out these 8 in the women's B final 200 freestyle. State record in this event, 149.61. We'll have to see if any of these young ladies can challenge for that later on in the B final.
5 of the 8 girls in this B final are all freshmen. So swimming certainly benefiting by some of the youngsters moving up.
I'm sure their coaches are watching them real close and thinking ahead to the future on moving these girls up that A final at some point in the future. Ernest from Bartlesville touched first at the 50 with a 27.04, followed by Josie Jones from Jinx. Ernest maintains that lead. It's actually extended a little bit. Looks like she's got a couple of body lengths over the rest of the field. It's going to be a real tight race here. Return for the 100 for second. Ernest with a 56.91. Kramer with a 59.50 in 3. And then Josie Jones from Jinx with a 59.51. Josie Ashton maintains her lead, still has a couple of body lengths. Field's kind of spread out a little bit more as they turn for this final 50. It is Ernest with a 128.98, Kramer with a 131.35, Jones with a 132.61, and Vargas with a 133.62. 25 to go. Jones really got her legs into it, really kicking hard. Good stroke rate, grabbing a couple of breaths about every other stroke. Gets under the flag, is going to bring home a win in this B final with just under 2-minute time of 158.96. Second goes to Kramer from Broken Arrow with a 202.94. Josie Jones with a 204.73, finishes out the top 3 in this women's B final.
All right, so that takes care of the B final. And up next, we'll move to the finals for the A classification in the girls 200-yard freestyle. Bartlesville with 3 swimmers in this A final.
And not. We look down through this list of finalists in lane 1. We have Giovanetti from Bartlesville in lane 1, Chase from Edmond Santa Fe in 2, Harris from Bartlesville in 3, Josie Yearling from Union in 4, Katie Callahan from Edmond Memorial in 5, Shipman from Bartlesville in 6, Henderson from Bixby in 7, and in 8, young lady that did our national anthem this evening, Tatum from Edmond Santa Fe. Kind of the opposite of the B final, and this final is really top loaded. Have 4 seniors, 2 juniors, 1 sophomore, 1 freshman. So maybe kind of what you might expect to see the upperclassmen in these A finals.
I mentioned the record in this event is 149.61. Fastest preliminary time was turned in by Yearling from Union at 1:53.79.
These young ladies were probably in separate heats yesterday. Probably won their heats. I don't want to say easily, but probably did get in there. Just looking to qualify, get back for today's final. They motor down through here, come to the first 50. Looks like it's going to be, well, it was too close for me to call. I'll just look at the board. June Harris in 3 with a 25.88. Callahan with a 26.12. And Chloe Chase was in second with a 26.09, then Callahan with 26.12. Do have 3 collegiate signees in this race. Giovanetti is signed to swim at Drexel next year. Katie Callahan will be going to University of Kansas, and Delaney Shipman will just be going up I-44, swimming for Drury University in Springfield. Halfway point, June Harris had snuck in there into the lead with a 54 flat. Katie Callahan with a 54.68 had bumped up into second. Really tightened up out here in 3, 4, and 5 between Harris, Yearling, and Callahan. As they make the turn, does look like Harris held on to that lead just ever so slightly, 123.41. 400s behind her is Josie Yearling with a 123.45, 124.05. Not beyond possibility these girls could challenge for this record. They're going to have to get back in a hurry, though. Go about a 24 on this last 50 to get it done. Looks like in lane 4, Yearling has creeped out to just a little bit of a lead, maybe an arm's length. She is going to duck under here and get the win with a 152.6, 153.13 for Callahan in second, and then June Harris rounds out the top 3, bringing home the bronze with a 153.35 for Bartlesville.
So they continue to post the good times. Girls after that 200-yard freestyle. We are finished with that event, and that will take us next to the boys 200-yard freestyle. This is records held by Justin Wu of Norman North. He set that back in 2013. Record time of 139.13. Seems like he was just swimming the other day.
Steve, you read my mind. I was thinking, 2013,
yeah,
really? It was that long ago?
It's 5 years ago.
If you'd have asked
must
me
have been a freshman.
He must have been. One of those deals, if you'd asked me, I said, oh, I don't know, that was just a year or 2 ago. But run down through the field here for this boys B final in the 200 free. Trachtenberg from Norman, Batts from Putnam City, Keith from Jinx, Hartgrave from Union, Sloan from Enid, Hales from Bartlesville, Batts from Putnam City North. Those must be brothers. We have Joey in 2 and Noah in 7, then Michael Broyles from Norman North. The turn at the 50, Sloan's out to early lead with a 24.8, followed by Joey Batts with a 24.87 in second. It's one of my favorite races to watch all day. It's a long sprint, kind of divided up into 4 50s. Like to look out, see who's got their legs going early in the race, who's breathing early in the race. Everybody probably gets tired of hearing me say it, but if they want to have legs left later in the race, they got to give them some air early in the race. We get to the men's 50 free, you'll probably see several of the top finishers in that. They won't even take a breath during the race. So a little different race, a little different strategy. Looks like out in lane 6, Hales from Bartlesville came to race. He got something to prove here in this B final. Making the turn with 50 to go at a 1:21.68. Hear the Bartlesville crowd. They traveled well again to this meet, and hear them going crazy, cheering him on. Joey Batts from Putnam City North held down second. Good to see these guys in some of these outer lanes. Want to show these guys in the A feature that maybe they had something and put down a good time here in the B final. Bartlesville with a 1:50.32. Sloan from Enid with a 1:51.36. Hartgrave from Union comes home in third with a 1:51.41.
3 seconds faster for Nicholas Hales from Bartlesville. As you said, it looked like he maybe had something to prove out there, and he set the tone and kept the pace for most of that B final race in the boys 200-yard freestyle. That'll take us now to the A finals. And we've got 3 from Norman North, 3 from Jenks, 1 from Bartlesville, and 1 from Owasso. So as far as the team standings go, this is going to be set up pretty heavily for some of the top teams that are chasing that championship.
That's what these coaches like to see. Chad Englehart over there at Bartlesville Group, that's what he needs to have happen to be a factor in this. You need your young man that, qualified fourth. He moved up that many points in the standings. That's what these coaches are looking for. How can you improve on your qualifying spot? One of the other sides of that, if he'd have gone that 1:50.32, he'd have been our 7th qualifier today. He'd be in this A heat. A finalists: Davis from Norman North, Tucker from Norman North, Yankunis from Jenks, Tang from Norman North, Pryor from Bartlesville, Pennington from Owasso, Sung from Jenks, and Howard from Jenks. Guys will be looking, as we mentioned earlier, that 1:39.13 from Justin Wu if they want to set the record.
Fastest preliminary time was from Jonathan Tang of Norman North, but that was almost 3 seconds slower than the state record.
We saw some state records fall by that much this morning,
yeah,
so you don't want to say never, but I think that'll be a little tall order for this group today. We'll just watch the race here as they come in. Is going to be Tang off to an early lead with a 23.25. Pryor with a 23.99. Down here in lane 2, close to us, Nathan Tucker from Norman North with a 24.37. Jonathan's really getting into this race. Got some good kick going early. Good stroke rate. Gets you a breath every stroke, every other stroke. He hits the halfway point. He's in at a 48.81. Pryor maintains his hold on second with a 49.94. 51.17 for both Tucker and Yankunis. Norman North hoping to stack some points here. 3 for them, 3 for Jenks. This is, there again, these are the 2 we expect to go at it all day. They're proven right so far. Jonathan Tang turns final 50, 1:15.18. Pryor from Bartlesville with a 1:16.85 and Yankunis with a 1:18.84. See how much steam he's got left. Does seem to be slowing down a little bit. Looks like Pryor in 5 just to his right, closing up just a little bit. But Jonathan Tang is going to hold on to win this with a 1:42.23. 1:44.22 for Pryor from Bartlesville, bringing home the bronze for Jenks. Yankunis with a 1:46.29.
All right, congratulations to Jonathan Tang. There you see the final numbers. That is going to lead us to the beginning of our awards presentations that will be taking place intermittently throughout our broadcast, webcast here this evening. Good look there at the crowd. It is filled to capacity, as it is almost every single year. Swimmers.
They've been announcing that if you leave the facility, somebody waiting in line will take your spot. You have to have a ticket. If you're saving seats, give them up. The crowd is that thick up there tonight.
And if you do give it up, you're not getting right back in.
You go to the back of the line.
That's right.
There's a good look. We've talked before. They're right here behind us. Bartlesville group always travels real well. See some maroon up there. I'm guessing that's probably Jinx. It's amazing how some of these teams' fans travel for them.
So some of the trophy medal distribution taking place here. First up will be the girls' 200-yard medley relay. And we'll go to our public address announcer to give us those results. Here you go.
5th place, Edmond Memorial. 4th place, Norman North. 3rd place, Edmond North. 2nd place, Bixby. 1st place with a time of 1:44.48, Bartlesville High School. And now for event 2, the boys 200-yard medley relay. 8th place, Owasso. 7th place, Norman. 6th place, Edmond Santa Fe. 5th place, Edmond North. 4th, Enid. 3rd, Edmond Memorial. 2nd, Jinx. 1st place with a time of 1:36.23, Norman North.
Norman North got to squeeze in there in between Bartlesville and Jenks, as they are your winners in the boys 200-yard medley relay.
A lot of space up there when it's individual awards,
yeah, right.
But you start getting 4 young men up there, it fills up fast. Good to see the excitement up there on the medal stand.
You can see there is no room to sit. And we got a few people out in the lobby hoping that somebody is going to leave them maybe a little bit early so they can get in and find themselves a comfortable seat here at the Edmond Aquatic Center. Mitch Park here in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Go ahead and give a quick update on the scores through 4 events. That's 2 women and 2 men's events. Bartlesville on the girls' side has 92 total points. Tight race for second because there's 3 tied for second with 48 points. Bixby, Edmond Santa Fe, and Edmond Memorial. So as we've talked and expected, Bartlesville off to an early large lead. On the men's side, Norman North with 87, Jinx with 78. In third is Owasso and Enid with 37 each. So nip and tuck on that. Interesting to see, as we saw this morning, I think we saw one A final that had 4 swimmers from one school in it. That is the maximum number of swimmers any school can put in one event. So we'll try to keep our eye open for that as we run through these events this evening.
All right, event number 5, the girls 200-yard individual medley coming up. This will be the B final as we continue the action of the 6A State Swim Championships here on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
First 4 young ladies in this event are all freshmen. Mills from Edmond North, Prescott from Broken Arrow, Sava from Edmond North, Reynolds from Edmond North, Bates from Owasso, Cleburne from Putnam City North, Rossi from Edmond Memorial, Dwyer from Putnam City North. One lone senior in this event is Bates from Owasso. Order of the strokes in the individual medley: butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and then the freestyle. These young ladies turned onto the back. They're allowed to swim underwater for the first 15 meters. Head must break the surface by that time. As they make the turn here and you watch at home, they are allowed to turn towards the breast, at which point they can take one arm or one double arm pull. When their feet leave the wall, they must be passed vertical towards their back. So we watch a good shot of them here finishing on their back. They do have to be on their back at the finish. Then they transition into the breaststroke breaststroke. Lane 3, Sava with a slight lead of 105.62, followed by Reynolds from North. And then in third, Riley Mills down here in the lane nearest us in lane 1. Starting to build a little bit of separation throughout the field as they come back through here on the breaststroke leg. Reynolds really has a large lead. She's going to touch first. She starts her transition to the freestyle. Final 50, she's in at a 145.18. Sava from North with a 149.71. Mills maintains her hold on third down here in lane 1. Hope fans up in the stands don't lose sight of this lane 1 swimmer. That's the lane closest to our position and the people in the stands. Hard to lose sight of lanes 1 and 2 a little bit. Always good to see somebody sneak up from one of those outside lanes and get a good placing. Here, the winner of this B final, women's 200 IM, is Reynolds from North with a 2:20.12. Sava from North with a 2:22.04. Cleburne did get in here, take third from Putnam City North with a 2:24.03. Mills did really improve on her qualifying effort from yesterday, finishing fourth in this heat with a 2:24.20.
All right, as we continue to move along, coming up next, it'll be the final, the girls 200-yard individual medley. And right away you see that Bartlesville has 3 right there in the middle of the race. Union has 2, Norman North 1, Jenks and Bixby also represented in this 2A girls final in this 200-yard IM.
These young ladies parade in. We have Von Hardage from Union in lane 1, Borum from Norman North in 2, Perry from Bartlesville in 3, Kate Stewart from Bartlesville in 4, Downey from Bartlesville in 5, Posey from Union in 6, Fenton in lane 7 from Jinx, rounding out the final 8, Brown from Bixby. These swimmers are seated in these races based on their times from yesterday. First fastest in 4. Following that, it's 4, 5, 2-6, 2-7, 1-8. Top 3 seeds in this event are all from Bartlesville. Look for it to be a 1-2-3 sweep here as we start this race. Great vantage point here from where we sit. It did look like a good clean start for these young ladies. They get started on the breaststroke, the butterfly leg of the individual medley. They come back, get ready to transition into the backstroke. Is going to be a 1-2-3 turn for Bartlesville with Stewart first, Downey second, Perry third, Bourne from Norman North in fourth, and Fenton from Jinx in fifth.
I can imagine the practices are pretty competitive as well.
I bet they get a little intense there, probably a little friendly competition.
That's right.
A lot of these cases when they have a lot of really fast swimmers, they just continue to push each other. They work hard together, they train hard together. These young ladies, too close to call here. I'd have called it a dead heat, but it was Downey touched first with a 57.97. Stewart just a couple of tenths behind with a 58.19. Perry with a 59.79. All of them under a minute at the halfway point. Rest of the field just a few seconds behind. Haven't really developed any separation here as these young ladies come back through here on the breaststroke for 1 and 2. They have distanced themselves from Perry a little bit, who continues in third. Making the turn, head to home. The final 50 in the freestyle, 1:32.50 for Kate Stewart. Would like to mention that Kate will be swimming next year. She's another one that'll be going to the University of Kansas, swim for the Jayhawks. Up there for Coach Clark Campbell. Great guy up there. I'm sure they'll do well at KU. Rest of the field's making the turn. These young ladies have their head down. Good kick. It is going to be Kate Stewart with the win, 2:02.27. Gives her a state record. Aaron Downey in second with a 2:03.18. Third goes to Perry from Bartlesville as well, 2:09.15. We've had our first record of the day, or of the evening session here, Steve. That one kind of snuck up on me. I don't know that I maybe saw that coming.
Yeah, and the good thing too for Bartlesville, they had a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. So it's kind of like the changing of the guard, if you will, for the Bartlesville girls. New state record for Kate Stewart, 2:02.27. She claims that record that was held by Riley Linhart. She had 2:02.74, so she wins it by just nearly a half a second. Congratulations to Kate Stewart. And that moves us to event 6, the boys 200-yard individual medley. This is the Heat B final.
Have Mendoza from Jinx in 1, Norton from Owasso in 2, Healy from Edmond North in 3, Blake Heiberger from Enid, Jacob Conine from Norman North, Isaac McAdams from Norman North, Harris from Santa Fe, Peterson from Bartlesville. I'd like to recognize Jacob Conine as well. He'll be swimming next year for Oklahoma Christian here locally. Real close race. These guys transition from butterfly to back. Conine touched first with a 25.6, just 13 hundredths behind him was Heiberger from Enid with a 25.73. Then over in lane 7, Harris. Backstroke legs tighten them up a little bit here, it looks like. Still kind of race seems to be in the middle of the pool with the exception of, well, lane 2 snuck in here on me. Jacob Conine holds on to the lead with a 56.85. Heiberger with a 57.6. Lane 3, Healy with a 58.05. And then down here close to us from Owasso in 4th was Norton. These guys come back on the final 25 of their breaststroke leg. Almost looks like synchronized swimming out there as they stroke back down through here. Heiberger's taken over the lead just by a slight margin with a 1:33.75. 3/10 behind him, Conine at a 1:34.05. Healy from North maintains his hold on third with a 1:35.11. These guys are just really going at it here. See who's got their head down. Does look like Heiberger has just a slight lead. These guys fight it out. It is going to be Heiberger with a 2:03.19 in first here in the B final. Jacob Conine comes in second, 2:03.47. Healy from North with a 2:05.06. Round out the top three of our men, the B final of our men's 200 IM.
And from there, we move then to the A final. Grant Stuckey from Jenks and Austin Bick, his teammate, also from Jenks, in lanes 1 and 2. Evan Wagner from Norman North, Caleb Sullivan from Norman, Alex Stamatin from Norman North. Seems like I've been calling that name for many years now. Will Englehart from Bartlesville, Luke Davis from Edmond Memorial, and then in lane 8, it will be Chris Silva from Edmond North. As the swimmers parade on in.
Most of them already all goggled up. A few of them still have on their parkas, trying to stay warm, try to stay loose, be ready for this race. Getting some high fives from timers, getting ready to go.
Norman North, 2 swimmers. Jenks, 2 swimmers. Norman, Edmond Memorial, Edmond North, and Bartlesville also in this field. State record is again held by Justin Wu of Norman North, turned in a time of 1:49.12. He did that back in 2014.
Really quick, recognize Evan Wagner in lane 3 from Norman North. He'll be swimming next year. He's going to go to Drexel, be a Drexel Dragon. Then in lane 5, we have Alex Stamatin. He's going to go up the road as well, up I-44 to school. It's become a little near and dear to my heart. He's going to go be a bear up at Missouri State in Springfield. Guys touch after their butterfly stroke. Evan Wagner, Norman North with a 24.24. Luke Davis from Memorial with a 24.26. And Sullivan from North rounded out the top 3. Backstrokers work down through the last 25 of this stroke, get ready to transition into the breaststroke. See what happens there. Sullivan from North turns first with a 52.98, just 300ths behind him, Evan Wagner. From Norman North with a 53.01, Stamatin with a 53.85. Still kind of going stroke for stroke out there in 4 and 5. Have Luke Davis over in 7, trying to keep pace with these guys. Hope he can sneak up on them from the outside. Stamatin hot on his heels. Sorry, Stamatin's in 5. Just looking at lane 3, Wagner. Have Sullivan 125.88, Stamatin 126.22, and Davis in 3rd with a 128.88. As the freestylers turn and burn here, really putting their legs into it, have their head down. Probably not going to take another breath till they get to the wall. It is going to be Sullivan taking the win here in the boys' A final of the 200 IM with a 153.56. Stamatin 154.39. Luke Davis over there in lane 7 did sneak up on him a little bit, brings home the bronze in a 156.13.
You got to look at the scoreboard, and our next event coming up will be the girls 50-yard freestyle. But first, we have awards to be handing out and recognize some of the outstanding performers from some of the races earlier, particularly the girls and the boys 200 freestyle. So they'll work their way over there towards the podium on the other side as you take a look at some of the swimmers just exhausted after another fine race here from the Edmond Aquatic Center. There's a good look inside. Packed house. And a lot of expectations for a lot of these different teams. For some, it'll be end in disappointment, and others, it'll be exactly what they were looking for in their state championships.
Seventh place, Giovanetti, Bartlesville. Sixth place, Case, Edmond, Santa Fe. Fifth place, Henderson, Bixby. Fourth place, Shipman, Bartlesville. Third place, Harris, Bartlesville. Second place, Callahan, Edmond Memorial. First place from Union with a time of 1:52.60, Josie Yearling. Now for event 4, the boys 200-yard freestyle. Eighth place, Howard, Jinx. Seventh place, Davis, Norman North. Sixth, Sung, Jinx. Fifth, Tucker, Norman North. Fourth, Pennington, OSSAA. Third, Young Achunas, Jakes. Second, Pryor, Bartlesville. First place from Norman North with a time of 1:42.23, Jonathan Tang.
Jonathan Tang, you saw there, the defending Class 6A 50 and 200-yard freestyle champion. Came in as the top seed in the 100 and the 200. And a lot of the reasons that Norman North has high expectations for the rest of this day. As you take a look at the field for the B heat coming up in the girls 50-yard freestyle.
Go ahead and set the field real quick for this. Try to get this done before they get in the water. White from Putnam City, Patterson from Owasso, Medor from Broken Arrow, Ralph from Chinks, Ockroy from Norman North, Starkey from Norman, Sylvester from Edmond North, and Smith from Jinx.
Record in this event, Samantha Woodward, all the way back in 2008, swam this in 22.98. This is the B final. Fastest time in the A was 24.77. Gives you an idea of how long that has lasted.
These young ladies hit the water, call it the splash and dash. We'll see how quick they can get down through here. Like to get those intros out of the way so we can watch the race. They turn in unison at the 25. Coming back looks like Ockroy may have a little bit of a lead, but it looks like as we come back, Ralph in lane 4 has jumped back out here. Ralph from Jinx will take the B final win with a 25.93. Ockroy 26.35 in second. Medor from Broken Arrow with a 26.66.
Well, just a freshman for Jinx, over a half second better than her preliminary time. And that'll take us to the A final. Coming up, Edmond North has 3 girls in this contest. Bartlesville has 2.
mentioned Sam Woodward earlier as we watched these young ladies parade in. I don't remember if this 22.98 was the the national high school record, but at one time Sam Woodward held the national high school record as well. Went on to a great swim career at Stanford. Just a great young lady. Here she's doing well. Have James from Edmond North in 1, Brenning from Edmond North in 2, Olson from Bartlesville in 3, Benninger from Bartlesville in 4, Stephen from Bixby in 5, Perry from Putnam City North in 6, Bushy from Memorial in 7, and Duncan from Edmond North in 8.
Girls 50 free.
Top 3 under 25 in prelims. Have to see what they do here. Probably come down to those 3 if I were guessing as they hit the water here. A lot of kick going by all the young ladies. Good stroke rate. They come up almost as one over there in 4 and 5 between Bittinger and Steben. Does look like Bittinger has just a slight lead. Race really might be for second. Olson from Bartlesville snuck in there, won this thing with a 24-15. Bittinger in second with a 24-17, only 200ths behind. Then in third, Steben from Bixby with a 24-59. Again, another one of those young ladies from Bartlesville that moved up on her seating, trying to score some of those points as they carry on chasing that state championship.
All right, that takes us to the boys 50-yard free, the B final.
Have Frosey North in 1, Townsville Union in 2, Burke from Jinx in 3, Myers from Memorial in 4, Reynolds from North in 5, Auld from Yukon in 6, Fletcher from Enid in 7, and Harold from Bixby in 8. You really hear the crowd getting into this. Everybody loves these sprints. Everybody gets in the water, gets going. Man, 1, 2, 3 going to be hard to call. Does look like it's going to be lane 4. Max Myers from Memorial with a 22.55. Lane 3, Burke from Jinx with a 22.73. Little outside smoke from Noah Frosey from North with a 22.95. In third, back in the middle of the pool, Alex Reynolds from North rounds out the top 4 with a 23.01 here in the B final of the men's 50 freestyle.
State record is held by Jacob Pierce of Jenks. He set it back in 2011, time of 20.25. We've got some very speedy racers in this A final of the boys 50-yard free. We may see another record fall here. Records were falling almost every race in the 5A championship. What we got here coming on the floor?
I think we got a bull rider coming on the deck here in maybe lane 2. Set the field here. We've got Whitney from Jinx, Jen from Jinx in 2, Wilson from North in 3, Hayes from Norman North in 4, Jones in 5 from Owasso, Tron from Jinx in 6, McVeigh and Owasso in 7, and Nicholson from Edmond Santa Fe. Fast qualifier is Aiden Hayes with a 20.85. 6/10 is a big step to overcome in a 50 free. We'll have to see if he can take a race at that record Jake Pierce set a number of years ago.
Hayes just a freshman, the top seed in the 50 and the 100-yard.
Look down through there, see a lot of fast twitch muscle stepping up on the block. Like to look and see out there who just takes it in one step. Up to the platform, saw several of them do that. That's usually going to be your racers. Making the turn right at 10. This could be close on the record. Wow, what an underwater. Here he comes, he's stroking down through here. Come on, come on, come on. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 20.83. Slows down a little off of his qualifying time. Great race, though, by Aiden Hayes to win this with a 20.83, taking the win. Next closest, Sam Jones from Owasso with a 21.18. Bringing home third, Andrew Krong from Jinx with a 21.65. Great race from those young men.
All right, so there you have us, up to date. As we just finished the boys 50-yard freestyle. Aiden Hayes from Norman North, winning time of 20.83. And again, that was a very strong field, and we'll see many more of those as the day continues.
And I did misspeak. He did go he went 200s faster than his qualifying time. I want to give him proper recognition.
All right, we'll take a timeout, continue our coverage of the 6A Boys and Girls Swim Championship from Mitch Park here at the Edmond Aquatic Center when we come back on your Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom. Look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people. Now during Truck Month, get up to $11,000 in total savings on the 2018 F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. Now she has the internet speed to keep business moving and the voice features that keep her connected.
Dessert Rose Bakery. Oh, hi.
It's just another way we do business differently. Make the switch to Cox Business.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
Mom, thank God you're going to be okay.
So relieved. But you both should know when my time comes, I have a final expense policy with Senior Care USA.
If you're over 50, call Senior Care USA now to learn more about final expense insurance plans.
When I called, the quote was free, and there was no pressure. Oh, so glad you'll be taken care of.
Call 1-800-971-4874. That's 1-800-971-4874.
Ford High School Game of the Week is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers, the best in Oklahoma. Mid-First Bank, true to your money. The Oklahoma Farm Bureau, the same Farm Bureau you've always trusted, now even better. Mill Creek Carpet and Tile. Mazio's. And by Weoki Credit Union.
Welcome back to Mitch Park, the Edmond Aquatic Center. Ford Dealers Game of the Week, OSSAA Swimming Championship Finals in Class 6A. We finished 8 events, but we have the scoring through 6, Max, that can kind of give us an idea on how everything is taking shape.
Sure, we'll run down through this real quick. I know just looked over at meet ops, and they were loading paper in the printer, so we'll update after 6 during this break. We may get to update after event 8, but right now the girls' team scores. Bartlesville maintains that healthy lead. They've got 145 points. Bixby continues their hold on second with 59, but Tulsa Union's hot on their heels with 57. Down here on the men's side, Norman North has 130 points. Jinx has 107. Next closest after them, coming up in third, is Edmond Memorial with 48. Real tight bunch there from third through about 8. Just 8 points separates third from 8th in the men's side.
All right, they are also presenting some of the awards. We will continue our coverage of the 6A Swim Championships. We'll take a timeout and get back to racing in the pool when we return right here on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. Stay with us.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series, including Motor Trend's Truck of the Year F-150. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner. Now during Truck Month, get up to $11,000 in total savings on the 2018 F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
I need some serious internet.
We have speeds from 10 megs to 10 gigs.
But I have locations all over the city.
No problem. Cox Business delivers consistently fast internet, no matter your location.
What about here?
Yep.
Here?
Of course. Here. That's a river. Exit ramp. Tree. That's the penguin house at the zoo. But sure.
You're good. He's good. He's good. I'm good.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma. The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
Welcome back to your Ford Dealers Game of the Week, the 6A State Swim Championships here in Edmond. And joining us now is one of the young ladies, so far the only state record that has been set in 6A yet this afternoon, boys or girl. Kate Stewart from Bartlesville joins us. Kate, congratulations. Great effort.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, Kate, just real quick for the fans at home, you know, it's a big meet, one of the biggest meet of the year at this point. You know, as you're standing behind the blocks and you're getting ready to go through this IM, you're swimming 4 different strokes. Give us a little idea of your thought process as you're behind the blocks and you're getting ready to swim this race.
I think before any race, it's just important not to focus on the time that you want to go or specific numbers or worrying. I think the main thing I try and focus on is just getting ready to race and getting excited and having fun, because I've learned over the years that I race best when I'm enjoying it and when I'm excited to race rather than nervous. So I think just getting in that mindset of being excited and ready and just telling myself that I'm in control of the race and that I can go out there and give the best effort that I can give, and that's all I can do, and that I'm the only person that I can control in that race. So I think just focusing on that really helps me get in the right mindset before the race, and then I just try and get loose and comfortable and relaxed.
You know, Kate, you've got a lot of great swimmers on your team. We watched a race earlier that the top 3 finishers were all from Bartlesville. Tell us what it's like to practice in that environment where everybody is a potential state champion. How do you work together? How do you compete against each other?
I think that's what makes it so fun, is that my best friends are my #1 supporters and also my toughest competitors. So that just shows me, like, in practice, the people that I'm having fun with and training with are also the people that are pushing me the hardest and showing me, like, what I can do better. And then we're constantly just going back and forth, like, helping each other get better. And I think that's the most important environment that's the best environment you can have for success. And it's just, I think having those girls with you, or just those guys too, is so important. And it's hard to do a sport by yourself, and so being able to have some of the fastest girls in the whole state swimming right next to me every day in practice, it's a huge blessing, really, because it pushes me and it pushes them, and the fact that we're all such good friends, and they're really my best friends, so that just makes it all that much better, and it makes it so much fun and makes it exciting to go to practice every day, and so that's really cool.
That's great. Kate, we know you've got the rest of the meet today. I don't want to jump too far ahead. You're chasing the state championship as a team.
Right.
But also know you've signed with KU, going to swim for the Jayhawks next year.
I have.
Tell us a little about your selection process there, why you chose them.
Well, honestly, I think if you would have asked me a couple years ago, which people did, if I was going to swim at KU, I said absolutely not. That's what my whole family did. I want to do something different. But then talking to the coaches and meeting the team and going down to Kansas, it just kind of there was really no other option. It was just the best. I could tell it was the best environment for training. It felt like home there, and the coaches have invested so much time and effort into me, and I can just tell that they're really invested in me, and they're excited to have me, and I'm excited to be there as well. And I'm very excited to go, and I get to go along with Greta Olson, who's my best friend, and Haley Downey, who's already there, who also swam on this team. So I think it'll just be a really great 4 years, and I'm really excited for it.
Well, congratulations once again, and I know you've got more work to be done yet as an individual and as a team. Thanks for joining us, Kate.
Thank you.
You betcha.
Kate.
Kate Stewart from Bartlesville. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we've got updated standings, and we'll continue swimming here at the 6A State Swim Championships, brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealer. We'll be back.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom. Look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people. Now during Truck Month, get up to $11,000 in total savings on the 2018 F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
Behind your thunder on Fox Sports Oklahoma.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma. The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
Welcome back once again to Mitch Park, the Edmond Aquatic Center, the site for this year's 6A OSSAA Swimming Championship Finals, brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. And we still have a ways to go yet this evening. You got an update on some of the standings.
I do have. We mentioned just a minute ago, Meet Ops got the paper reloaded and everything. We now have results through Event 8, which was the one we just completed, the men's 50 free. The girls' side, Bartlesville with 182. Haven't quite doubled up Norman North yet, but getting close. Norman North has 94. Edmond North. Edmond North in second with 94. Bixby's dropped a spot into third with 75. On the men's side, Norman North with 165, coming off the heels of their win in the 50 free. Jinx in second with a 157. Owasso 71. Edmond Memorial with 56.
All right, so there we have the standings as we continue to move along here. Jinx coach, and a look at the field. From Bartlesville, Jinx, Union, Bixby, Norman North, Edmond North. This is the B final in the girls' 100-yard butterfly.
Got a little, I'm going to read down through here what I have. Durson, I think we had a change for a reason, but Durson, what I have here, Durson from Edmond North, Fortney from Union, Talbot from Bartlesville, Jackaway from Bixby, Keene from Bartlesville, Ockroy from Norman North, Horsley from Owasso, and Dykeman from Jinx. The young ladies come back through here to complete the first 50. The officials there on the ends that you may see off to the left of the screen. Turn officials are watching for turns. They're looking to ensure that as the swimmers touch a simultaneous two-hand touch when they leave the wall. They are vertical towards the breast. Stroke judges along the sides looking to ensure that that first pull brings them to the surface of the water that they have to do by the 15-meter mark. As they make the turn for home, coming back on the last 25 over in lane 5. Kuhn from Bartlesville going to take the win with a 101.29. Jack away from Bixby in second with a 102.76. And Talbot from Bartlesville with a 103.15 brings home third. Again, Bartlesville making that jump. You know, one place jump, qualified second in this heat, placed first, get the extra points for that.
And now coming up, it'll be the finals of the girls 100-yard butterfly. Young ladies making their approach as they parade in.
Go ahead and set the field as these young ladies parade in. We watch them high-five their friends and teammates and officials, and all get ready for the A final of the girls 100-yard butterfly. Have Daly from Norman in 1, Kramer from Broken Arrow in 2, Parker from Edmond Memorial in 3, Greta Olson, Bartlesville in lane 4 that we just heard Kate Stewart mention, Carolyn Godwin from Enid in 5, Tate from Edmond Santa Fe in 6, Ernest from Bartlesville in 7, Hamilton from Mustang in 8.
State record is 10 years old. Sam Woodward with one of her records that still remains. She swam this in 52.74 back in 2008.
Again, that's one of those records. It's going to be a pretty steep hill to climb if somebody's going to do that. You know, we've learned along the way, never say never. Somebody will probably come along someday that does that, but I really don't expect it this afternoon. Where we set looked like a good clean start. Do want to acknowledge, as I've been trying to do all evening, Sydney Parker in lane 3, going to swim next year for Ouachita Baptist. And as we mentioned earlier, or as Kate mentioned earlier, Greta Olson from Bartlesville, her teammate here, going to go to KU and be a teammate with her up there.
Doesn't seem to be that many Big 12 schools that have swimming. You keep saying Kansas, I don't hear.
There's really not. I'd be hard pressed to name them all. MU does, Texas does, of course, Texas A&M. I'm sorry, I've jumped out of the Big 12.
I got you.
I forget some of those have left.
I do the same thing all the time.
Give me a minute to think about it. I can come up with them. Making the turn for the final 25. Greta Olson going to bring home the win in a 56.35. Peyton from Santa Fe, 58.42. In third down here in lane 2, close to us, Broken Arrow, Annie Kramer with a 58.62.
So Greta Olson from Bartlesville is your champion in the girls 100-yard butterfly. Congratulations to her and the Bartlesville girls, who really seem like they're going to be unstoppable on their way to another state championship.
Just going off those, you know, after 8 events, they're going to be hard to beat. I don't see how anybody's going to be able to close that gap. Setting the field for the men's B final in the 100-yard butterfly. Yang from Jinx, Drum from Edmond North, Willis from Bartlesville, Yearling from Union, Harris from Santa Fe, Nail from Jinx, Ramirez from Yukon, and Jones from Putnam City North.
Boys 100 fly. This is seat number 1, the B final.
Good tight race as these guys come along. It is going to be Yearling from Union touching first with a 25.57. One lane closer to us here in lane 3 is Willis from Bartlesville, 25.69. And then in third in lane 5, Harris from Santa Fe with a 25.76. Making the turn, heading for home at the halfway point of this final 25. It is going to be Yearling be able to hold on for the win here, score some good points for Union. The winner of the B final in a 54.59, 55.64 for Ryan Harris from Santa Fe, Preston Willis from Bartlesville brings home third with a 56.69.
So that is the B final. And then that'll take us, of course, to the A final. In the boys 100-yard butterfly, I see 3 swimmers from Norman North. Looks like they were all seeded 1, 2, and 3. Bartlesville has 2 swimmers. Jenks has 2 swimmers, and Norman was able to also get into that final.
That battle continues as we truck down through some of these events. Set the field here. Have a freshman from Bartlesville in lane 1, Goddard. John Ginn from Jenks is a senior. McMillan from Norman North. Hayes from Norman North. Wagner from Norman North. Jazz Whitney from Jenks in 6. Lucas Reekfers from Bartlesville in 7. Sasaki from Norman in 8.
As you can see there, your record is held by Kyle Ward of Bartlesville. Set that back in 2016. His time was 47.92. The fastest among this group, the freshman from Norman North, 49.38.
Men are underway. Saw a lot of good underwater work there, a lot of kicks, a lot of strokes, or not a lot of strokes, no strokes. First stroke has to bring them to the surface of the water by the 15-meter mark. Any number of kicks, they're allowed any number of kicks during that time. We come down through here, touching first, Hayes from Norman North with a 23.06. Wagner from North, 23.99. McMillan from North with a 24.48. Norman North seems to have the lock on the top 3 at this point as they turn. Coming back, really ought to be able to add some points as they try to maintain pace, stay ahead of Jenks. Norman North going to win this. 49.14 for Aiden Hayes from Norman North. Coming in second, Evan Wagner from North with a 51.10. Then in third, bringing home the bronze for North, Nate McMillan, 52.77.
So Aiden Hayes, 49.14, your winner in the boys 100-yard butterfly. Congratulations to him and his teammates who finished second and third, Nate McMillan and Evan Wagner. And that should mean it's just about time to recognize some of the winners and look at some more of the awards.
Well, if we can trust Siri, and I think we can, looks like the Big 12 swim teams are Iowa State women, Kansas women, TCU has men's and women's, Texas has men's and women's, and West Virginia has men's and women's.
And no schools from Oklahoma in that group.
No schools from Oklahoma in that group.
Interesting.
It's just been within the last few years. Oklahoma Baptist has added swim. Oklahoma Christian, Gregory's did have it, but they've closed the school. I think we're the only ones at this point.
So the awards presentations are taking place, and we'll turn it over to our public address announcer once again, Mr. Alan Meyer.
6th, James, Edmond North. 5th, Duncan, Edmond North. 4th, Perry, Putnam City North. 3rd, Stuyben, Bixby. 2nd, Big Dinger, Bartlesville. 1st place with a time of 24:15 from Bartlesville, Greta Olsen. Now for event 8, the boys 50-yard freestyle. 8th place, Nicholson, Edmond, Santa Fe. 7th, McVeigh, Owasso. 6th, Jinx. 5th, Whitney, Jinx. 4th, Wilson, Norman North. 3rd, Trum, Jinx. 2nd, Jones, Owasso. 1st place from Norman North with a time of 20.83, Aiden Hayes.
Right here, when they turn,
Hayes, just a freshman, taking the top spot in the boys 50-yard freestyle. His winning time of 20.83.
Going to be exciting to watch him being a freshman. You know, 20.83 as a freshman, that's really stout. Going to be exciting to watch him as he progresses up in high school.
And that sets the table for the next race coming up.
Girls 100-yard freestyle set the field for the B final. Starkey from Norman in 1. Duncan from Edmond North in 2. Green from Bartlesville in 3. Ockroy and Norman North 4. McAnally, Edmond Memorial in 5. Meador, Broken Arrow in 6. Sylvester, Edmond North in 7. And Vu from Union in 8. Girls off to a good start here. All of them up and stroking at this point in the 100 free. Don't often see them press that 15-meter mark in these 100 frees. They want to get up, get on the surface of the water, start stroking with their arms, get their kick into it. Try to get out to a good first 50 split, make the turn, get off the wall, set up for a good back half. Ockroy from Norman North turns first with a 27.48, just a couple of tenths behind her. McAnally from Memorial with a 27.71. Lane 2 from North. Duncan in 3rd with a 27.76. Looks like it may have tightened up a little bit out there in the middle of the pool as they turn. Brace for that final wall. It is going to be Ockroy in 4, seems to be coming along, but down here in 2 may sneak in on us and get the win. It is. It's Bryn Duncan from North in lane 2. Really accelerates the back half of this race, and especially that last 25. Wins this B final with the 57.42. Ockroy from Norman North in 2nd with a 57.97. And coming home in 3rd was Green.
All right, so that's the B final, and coming up next is the A final. And the girls 100-yard free. 2 swimmers from Bartlesville. And 1 from Edmond North. Pretty good spread here. Jenks, Union, Memorial, and Bixby. So Bartlesville has the 2. Everybody else with just single entries in the girls 100-yard freestyle.
Really looking forward to this race today. Out here in the middle of the pool, June Harris, our fast qualifier, 52.4. Right behind her, Kelly Fisher, senior, hoping to close out her senior year. Number 2, be interesting to see these 2 young ladies go head-to-head. Even though Harris out-qualified her, I think it could be anybody's race. Don't want to discount Bittinger in 3 either. So we have Jones from Jinx in 1, Posey from Union in 2, Bittinger from Bartlesville in 3, Harris from Bartlesville in 4. A happy birthday to Kelly Fisher in lane 5 from Memorial. Steben from Bixby in 6. Perry from Putnam City North in 7. Lugafett from Edmond North in 8.
Championship final of the girls 100-yard free.
Top qualifier June Harris was the only one under 53 to qualify. The next two were under 54. Then kind of a big jump to the next, the final 4 or 5 in this race. These young ladies have their head down. They're gritting their teeth and getting it done. It is a battle right there in the middle of the pool between Fisher and Harris. Turning first. Harris is going to get her feet off the wall first by just 2 hundredths, 24.95 to Fisher's 24.97, 25.23 for Bittinger. Really hear the crowd getting into it, cheering these young ladies on. They are just stroke for stroke. At this point, it's who wants it worse. Does the senior Fisher want it? The junior Harris, who's it going to be? Looks like it's going to be a tie for first. 51.87. How close is it going to be? Wow. It's going to be exact. 51.87, tie for first. June Harris, Kelly Fisher, Bittinger, 52.58, just less, a little more than a half second behind them with a 52.58. Steben from Bixby with a 54.11.
So they'll get to share that top spot on the podium when the awards are handed out. And I'm sitting right on the finish line. And so as I looked out there, I started to think it was one, and I thought, no, but it was a dead heat, as they say, and a great race in the girls 100 free.
Got the boys B final in the 100 freestyle. Harold from Bixby in 1, Reynolds from North, Edmond North in 2, Nicholson from Edmond Santa Fe in 3, Townsville from Union in 4, Ald from Yukon in 5, Sloan from Enid in 6, Frosey from Edmond North in 7, and Pauk in Norman North in 8. Chief starter, good starters always like to put themselves in the race, kind of make them that 9th person in the race. Held them on the top of the blocks for a little longer than I'm used to seeing, so he must have seen something that he didn't like or wanted to get time to settle out. He saw they were ready, brought them down to set and sent them on their way. Braden Nicholson from Santa Fe with early lead, 23.77. Sloan from Enid, 23.85 in lane 6. Then over in lane 8, Norman North, Spencer Pauk, 24.35. Race seems to be on some of the outer parts. 6, 7, 3. Who's going to get the wall first? Going to be lane 6. Sloan from Enid with a 49.68. Lane 7. Noah Frosey from North in a 49.91. Then lane 3 rounds out the top 3 for this B final. Nicholson from Santa Fe with a 50.21. Don't often see that where 4 or 5 really aren't in the mix.
Yeah, Sloan there swimming 1.2 seconds faster than he did in the preliminary. So a nice showing by him, and that'll take us to the boys 100-yard free final. Norman North with 2 entries here. Owasso has 2, Jenks has 2, and Edmond Memorial with 1. So a couple of teams loading up with 2 swimmers in this event.
Do have Pennington from Owasso in 1, Bick from Jenks in 2, Wilson from North in 3, Jonathan Tank also from Norman North in 4, Jones from Owasso in 5, Cronk from Jenks in 6, Myers from Edmond Memorial in 7, and Sung from Jenks in 8. Not a single senior in this field. Only one upperclassman, junior. I'm sorry, I take that back. Jones from Owasso is a senior, 1 junior, rest are sophomores. Steve mentioned earlier, Jake Pierce also holds this record. 100 freestyle, 44.99 from 2010. That's another one of those that doesn't seem like that long ago. Jonathan Tang touches first from North with a 22.03. Sam Jones only 300ths behind with a 22.06. Just about half a second behind him is Daniel Wilson from North with a 22.64. Looks like Sam Jones in Owasso came to take care of business today. He's going to win this thing over from lane 5 with a 45.79. Tang from Norman North in second with a 46.51. Andrew Trong from Jinx, 47.35, brings home the bronze in the men's A final.
Good showing for Jones, who swam a 47.46 in the prelim to get it down to 45.79. So a good half point plus. Or second faster than he was yesterday. And that should take us to some more awards that'll be handed out. And next up, it'll be the 100 Butterfly Awards that'll be coming up. We'll recognize some of the young ladies and men who have attained their goal for the day. Some may be disappointed they didn't get first and were expecting to do that. Others made that climb, didn't finish third or fourth at the prelims, and then put it all together for a special moment here today. So we'll recognize some of those young swimmers here as well.
Bixby 82, Edmond North 95, and leading the girls' side after event 10 is Bartlesville with 230. Now the awards for the girls' 100-yard butterfly. 8th place, Hamilton, Mustang. 7th, Daly, Norman. 6th, Ernest, Bartlesville. 5th, Parker, Edmond Memorial. 4th, Goodwin, Enid. 3rd, Kramer, Broken Arrow. 2nd, Teton, Edmond, Santa Fe. 1st place with a time of 56:35 from Bartlesville, Greta Olson. And now team standings for the boys. Bixby 2, Putnam City North 10, Moore 10, Mustang 12, Yukon 22, Union 37, Edmond Santa Fe 46, Enid 47, Edmond Memorial 57, Norman 57, Edmond North 59, Owasso 71, Bartlesville 71. Jinx 191, and leading the boys after event 10, Norman North with 218 points. And now the results of event 10, the boys 100-yard butterfly. 8th place, Sasaki, Norman. 7th place, Goddard, Bartlesville. 6th, Redford, Bartlesville. 5th, Whitney, Jinx. 4th, Jen, Jinx. 3rd, McMillan, Norman North. 2nd, Wagner, Norman North. 1st place with a time of 49:14 from Norman North, Aiden Hayes.
Well, it almost looks like a repeat. Aiden Hayes stepping up front and center once again for the Norman North Timberwolves. Posing for a couple of pictures there, and congratulations to all the participants today to make it to this point. Just the fact that you get to swim in the state championship says something. And then, of course, top it all off by some great performances, some state records. We saw a lot of state records fall in Class 5A. So far, not as many in Class 6A. And then we've got the event number 13, the girls 500-yard freestyle. That is coming up next. A couple of freshmen in this race. Only one senior from Bartlesville, Cheyenne Kuhn. And we're set to go.
.500 freestyle will be 20 lengths of the pool for these young ladies. Have Shine from Edmond Memorial in 1, Barker from Broken Arrow in 2, Brown from Bixby in 3, Kuhn from Bartlesville in 4, Vargas from Jinx in 5, Prescott from Broken Arrow in 6, Ciclasi from Norman in 7, Parker in lane 8 from Edmond Memorial. Would like to just point out the number of volunteers it takes to make a meet like this run. Have a full complement of officials on the deck, starters, deck referees, meet referee, stroke and turn judges. Each lane has 3 timers. Have meat, hospitality, have concessions. All these people are volunteers. You know, literally hundreds of people it takes when you add the 5A finals this morning, 6A this afternoon. Just takes an army of people to make these swim meets happen.
Obvious guess would be that a lot of those were swimmers themselves, had kids that were swimmers coming up throughout the high school ranks and have moved on perhaps, and they enjoyed it so much watching their own participate that they decided, looks pretty fun, I want to do that myself and help out.
I'm kind of one of those. You know, I didn't get started in it until our kids started swimming in kind of a summer recreational league. Came up through it. You know, my son hasn't swam for, I guess, coming up on 3 years now. Still like doing this every year. You know, I look around the pool deck here at a lot of the volunteers. You know, I see several that don't have kids swimming anymore. So you kind of, I don't know if we get addicted to chlorine or what, but you kind of come and need to get your fix from time to time.
Well, and the fans are always so appreciative too, and we found that out also in wrestling. Football's been covered as well as you can cover it through the state of Oklahoma for many, many years. Basketball falls into that same category. Baseball, softball, probably not far behind. And you look at the golf, the tennis, the cross country, and you know, swimming, of course, has moved its way, and now it's something that everybody knows about and looks forward to throughout the year. And once the third weekend in February rolls around, you know that it is state championship time, whether it's here in the Tulsa or here in the Oklahoma City area or up in the Tulsa area as well.
These girls cycle through the halfway point of this race. Vargas and Jinx is in first with a 2:43.52. Brown from Bixby in second with a 2:44.89. Cheyenne and Kuhn from Bartlesville with a 2:45.12. May notice as these girls make the turn at the turn in, each of them have a counter on their lane that lets them know where they are in the race, usually counting them up, how many lengths have you completed. As we just mentioned, they just completed the halfway point. They'll be turning at the 300 here. A few more lengths when they come back for their final 50, they'll get a bell lap. Even though they have these counters that help them keep track, they on their own are responsible for the count. If the counter gets messed up, or you know, I've seen those boards fall off the sticks they're holding them on, and so if something happens, they are responsible for their own count, but they do have that as an aid. I'm sure looking at that black line on the bottom of the pool gets pretty monotonous, and it's hard to remember if I'm coming or going. May get a shot of some of these. Coaches a lot of times have some kind of indication. Looking out there, maybe in lane 4 and 5, they're shaking their counter up and down a little bit. That's an indication to start picking up the pace a little bit. Sometimes they'll be swaying it from side to side. That's kind of a maintain, you're doing good kind of thing. Coming along here. Touching at the 400. It is Vargas still with the lead, 4:26.63. Kuhn from Bartlesville with a 4:27.14. Rachel Brown from Bixby continues to hold down third with a 4:30.87. These swimmers approach the flags, start here in the bell. The bell ringers are instructed to ring the bell from the flags in until the swimmers complete the turn and have passed back under the flags. May not realize really how much of that time these swimmers are underwater. That's why they ring the bell so long. Look there. You know, they start their turn a few yards out, make the turn.
I don't know how you would distinguish which bell is for you or maybe the person in the lane next to you.
They do have, you can see on the targets down there, the red, that lets them know that they've just got one length to go. So if you're not sure about the bell, you can look at that. Vargas from Jinx does bring home the win. This B final of the girls 500 free with a 5:34.52. Kuhn from Bartlesville with a 5:35.18. Seklasi from Norman North closed in that last 50, end up in third with a 5:41.50. Rachel Brown from Bixby brings home fourth with 5:41.81. So we get ready to parade in the girls' A finals.
Take a long breath after that. That completes the girls' 500-yard freestyle in the B division. That'll take us to the finals in the A. The finalists for the girls' 500-yard freestyle. Looks like it's pretty well spread out. I don't see any school there. Bartlesville has two, it looks like. As they continue to just roll up the points, I would feel safe in saying that that appears to be over with as far as the girls' team championship is concerned. And Norman North had expanded their lead earlier. We'll check and see where they sit here in just a bit.
Finalists for this A final in the girls' 500-yard freestyle have Cunningham from Bartlesville, James from Edmond North, Case from Edmond Santa Fe, Yearling from Union, Giovanetti from Bartlesville, Callahan from Edmond Memorial, Kramer from Broken Arrow, and Nesby from Bixby in lane 8. This is one of those races that in prelims yesterday, some of these probably would have been in the same heat, some of them wouldn't. You know, I do expect the race, Yearling, Giovanetti, Callahan, Case, you know, will all be in the mix. This is going to be one of those races that the lead could change a few times in. I'm anxious to see this. This is really going to be a good race this afternoon.
State record held by Riley Linhart from Edmond North, 4:53.67. It's nearly 40 seconds faster than the fastest qualifying time for today. If my math is correct.
Yeah, that's not. Yearling's a 5:05, so it's 13 seconds. Right.
Yeah.
Riley Linhart was one of those, I mentioned it this morning. You know, it's more often than once a generation, but there are those swimmers that come through that set some records that stand for 6 or 8 years. Somebody else comes along, knocks them off. You know, she had a record that Kate Stewart broke this morning, or this afternoon, that I didn't really expect to happen. We'll have to see what happens with this one as these girls cycle through this 500. Real tight race, those top 4, like I mentioned at the start. Top 4 across the middle of the pool have Callahan in first with a 56.95, Yearling with a 56.98 in 4, Case in 3, and then Giovanetti in 4th there in lane 5. So the speed, if you want to call it that at this point in the race, comes from those outer middle lanes.
I was looking at the, I have to defend myself, I was looking at the B finals as compared to the A finals.
I didn't check the math on that. You're right on that, I'm sure. They've made the turn, coming back down through here. getting ready to turn at the 200. Callahan over in 6 looks to have just a slight lead. Just have to see as their turn and whose feet hit the wall first. Callahan's due hit first with a 158.65, just 500ths ahead of Josie Yearling from Union, 158.7. Don't discount Giovanetti at this point in the race, 159.07. That's just a few tenths out of it. You know, they're not even, well, they're coming back to halfway at this point. See how they've set up on the front end of this. See who's got some legs and lungs left on the back half. Callahan going to stretch their lead to about a half a body length here at the midway point, a 229.33. Yearling with a 229.92. Giovanetti 230.13, so just 8 tenths behind our leader Callahan.
I was going to say, during these long races like that, if everybody wants to build a Mount Rushmore of, you know, great pitchers or great quarterbacks and things like that, if you were to try to do something like that for boys and girls swimming, I'm not asking you to do it right now, but something to, you know, to put in the back of your head. And I get reminded by seeing all these former record holders, and whether it's 6 years old, 3 years old, or 10 years old, it's great to go back and see some of these names that you sometimes forget, but, you know, always remember once it's brought back up to you.
That's a great thought. You know, just you said that, and the one I went straight to was David Plummer. You know, David, backstroker, we'll see he still holds the record. Double check that when we get there. I think that was from 2004. You know, David came up just a few tenths short of going to the Olympics in 2012. Dedicated himself and his life to training and coming back. Went to the 2016 Olympics. You know, came home with Olympic gold. You know, and there's a. He's not a kid, he's an adult.
I was going to say, wasn't he 30 something?
Yeah, I think he's 30 or over.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a young man, great guy from what I've seen and heard of him. You know, right here from Moore, Oklahoma, that's an Olympic gold medalist. He'd be one of the faces there. Of course, Sam Woodward that we mentioned earlier was another one that would sure be in consideration for that. I'll give it some more thought, see who else comes to mind.
We encourage our watchers and listeners to hit us up on our Twitter page at YurView. That's YurView.com, and maybe give us some suggestions on who might belong in that Mount Rushmore of boys and girls swimming for the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Katie Callahan's coming in here with the bell lap. 50 yards to go. She's going to touch first with a 4:32.80. Giovanetti with a 4:33.22. Yearling with a 4:34 flat. These girls are really putting some kick into it. They've got their head down. I don't know how they're able to continue at this point, but they're in lane 5. Giovanetti really taking the race to her. Callahan looks to be breathing to her other side. Not sure she knows who's there. Who's going to get their head down and get to the wall first? It's going to be Giovanetti, 5:02.12. Callahan, 5:02.39. Yearling, 5:04.08. Coming in fourth, Chloe Case with a 5:09.74. Kind of as we predicted, those top 4 right there in the middle had some give and take throughout. Giovanetti, I think, dropped back at one point to around third, maintained contact with the lead. Callahan had led pretty much start to finish till that final 50. Great to see those ladies be able to get up and race that last 50.
9 seconds better than her preliminary time of 5:11.22. Finishes at 5:02.12. Emily Giovanetti from Bartlesville is your champion at the girls 500-yard free. I believe we have more awards to give out. But first, before we do that, we have the 500-yard freestyle for the fellas.
B final of these 500 frees for the men. Joey Batts from Putnam City North in 1. Sasaki from Norman in 2. Hudson from Edmond North in 3. Keith from Jinx in 4. Hales from Bartlesville in 5. Hardgrave from Union in 6. Selman and Bixby in 7. Stelzer from Owasso in lane 8. Do just want to mention real quick something that I just became aware of yesterday. There's a small group of teams here in the Oklahoma City area that when a local pool closed a few years ago were really left without a place to practice. Putnam City, the 3 Putnam cities, East, North, and Original, the 3 Moores, and Yukon and Mustang. So you see Joey Batts there from Putnam City North. We've seen some of the others. These teams, are begging and bartering and trying to find pool space places. Yukon and Mustang actually spend more time on the bus getting to practice than they're able to spend in practice. And so that little group of schools have, I think they're calling it the NPSC, the No Pool State Championships. So they've got them a little trophy of their own that they're kind of tracking scores. That just shows, the dedication that the teams, the parents, the schools have to try to keep some of these programs going. It's important to the young people. It's important to the school. Have these young people be able to compete. So it's going to be interesting to see how that NPSC shakes out throughout the day as well.
Great story. When we first moved to Oklahoma City back in 1995, of course, the Moore schools were just the one school. If my timing is right there, and they had the swimming pool at the Moore High School, but decided that it was not cost effective and closed it down. So that explains part of it.
That does explain part of it. Pools are expensive propositions. Everybody knows that. They're expensive to build. They're expensive to maintain. They're corrosive. Everybody gets it. But, we appreciate the ones that are around it. This is a great facility here in Edmond that several different entities partnered together to build and maintain and operate. Really fortunate to have this type of facility in the state, let alone, the one just up the road in Jenks. Great facility as well that we're able to have these state meets at. Let these kids compete. So they cycle through the halfway point, 2:23.88. Hales from Bartlesville. Keith from Jenks in second with a 2:28.56. Matthew Hudson from North and a 2:28.70.
Still a long ways to go yet in this boys 500 free. This is the B final.
Eastman Holloway is still the record holder in this event, 4:30.30. I look across the way and just under the big scoreboard over there, I see Eastman standing there. He went to SMU, had a great career there, swimming for the Mustangs down in Dallas. Moved back to the state. He's actually helping his alma mater, Tulsa Union, and with their swim program. It's great to see some of these young people. I know Jake Pierce was doing that last year. It's great to see some of these swimmers come back and be able to contribute to the sport. Eastman's is one of those records that goes back a few years as well. I wouldn't have guessed that was as old as it is, but when you think about that, he's been to school 4 years and graduated and moved home. It is that far back.
And the fastest qualifier is still 15 seconds slower than Holloway's winning time back in 2012.
Right. Still with a good little lead, about 3 seconds. Hales from Bartlesville with a 3:58.39. That would have been the 400 turn. Keith from Jenks, 4:01.50. Hudson from North with a 4:02.66. Going to be coming back this time to get the bell lap. Hales there in 5 seems to increase the stroke rate a little bit, wanting to hold on to that first place position. Hales from Jenks starting to turn it on a little bit. He's turned up the wick. Down here in lane 3, Hudson, he's giving it his all. He may be actually closing up a little bit more on Keith than Keith is on Hales. Hales really getting into it here. I think Keith's just going to run out of pool to get this done, although I could be wrong.
Coming hard.
Going to be about a half a body length behind. Win goes to Hales from Bartlesville with a 5:49. Keith from Jenks with a 5:01.19. Hudson from North with a 5:03.94. Good tight race there throughout the extent of this 500.
So that was the B final in the boys 500. There you get a quick look at the final results from heat number 1. And And then that'll take us to heat number 2, the championship final. Jenks with 3 swimmers, Bartlesville with 2, Norman North with 2. And it looks as though Edmond Memorial sneaks in with 1.
Got these A finalists staged up on the far end of the pool here, waiting for some clearance to get them going, I guess. Go ahead and set the field for this A final in the men's 500 freestyle. Have Stuckey from Jenks in 1, Tetley from Jenks in 2, Rolfson from Bartlesville in 3, Yankunis from Jenks in 4 is our fast qualifier with a 4:45.86. Pryor from Bartlesville in 5, David Logan from Norman North in 6, Luke Davis in 7 from Edmond Memorial, and Jack Davis from Norman North in 8. Go ahead and recognize David Logan in 6 from Norman North. Be swimming next year here locally again for Oklahoma Christian. Good shot from above as the finalists are there behind the blocks getting ready for their race. Throughout all of the events, I don't know if people at home can hear it that well, but the swimmers, when they're behind the blocks, they're being announced and all that, just kind of loose. Meet referee, deck referee will blow a series of short whistle bursts. That lets the swimmers know, hey, we're about to be ready. One long whistle brings the swimmers up to the blocks. At that point, deck referee hands the field over to the starter. At that point, it's his responsibility when people seem settled. You know, you're listening to the crowd. You're kind of waiting for the crowd noise. It'll typically die naturally a little bit. You kind of let that settle. Give them the command to take their mark. You know, it's not always very long. You know, they're taught and instructed to, when they hear that command to come down, get set, be ready to start. Starter sees that happen, just boom, sends them on their way. After the first 100, Pryor from Bartlesville has a slight lead, 51.85 to Yankunis' 52.17. Again, this could be one of those that based on yesterday's prelims, a lot of these 500 swimmers that swim it a lot kind of know how it feels and kind of have a basic idea of what they need to go to come back for this A final. This could be one of those races we have a little nip and tuck throughout. Just have 1,300 separation between Pryor and Yankunis. Yankunis did touch first there with a 1:19.89 to Pryor's 1:20.02.
Tight race between these three, just now hitting the wall. Still a long way to go in the boys 500 free.
Long way to go. Yankunis did touch first again with just a couple of tenths advantage over Matthew Pryor. Lane 3, place 3, Luke Davis out in lane 7. These guys matching each other stroke for stroke. Luke Davis, as they hit the wall here at the halfway point, decided he wants to see what he can do on the back half of this race. He's going to touch first at the halfway point with a 2:17.54. Yankunis with a 2:18.15. Have to see if these guys there in the middle realize he's over there in lane 7 with the lane lines, and depending on which way you breathe, some swimmers only breathe to one side, others will kind of alternate. But Luke really starting to put together a good stroke rate over there. Going to extend his lead a little bit with a 2:46.14. The Yankunis' 2:47.73. Pryor right behind with a 2:48.15. Looking at the lap counters down there. They're not spurring them on too hard yet. See what some of the coaches and the swimmers' philosophies are here and strategies. See if they think Davis may be taking it out a little too fast here in the middle, and if they'll be able to reel him back in a little bit later here in the final part of the race.
You have to be careful on the lap counters because I'm sure some boys and girls just don't feel like that's really a necessity, and I'm sure there's others that take it very seriously and feel like they're more of a part of the team that way.
I think that's right. It's going to depend a lot on the swimmer. You know, what they're comfortable with, what they like. For a lot of the distance swimmers, 500 really is their sprint. They're used to it. They know what their count is. Maybe some of the younger ones needed a little more to maintain. With 100 to go, Luke Davis maintains his lead with a 3:44.34 to Yankunis's 3:47.2 and Pryor's 3:48.38. Really got a good kick going over there. Davis get the bell this time by. Lane 4, Yankunis extending his lead on second, or into second, by about a half a body length as they turn. Luke with a 4:13.56. Not going to be able to get that state record held by Eastman Holloway today. But here in lane 4, Yankunis really turning on the burners as he makes the turn. Going to see if he can chase him down. My guess is here at this point of the race, it's just not going to have enough to catch up to Davis out there in lane 7, who's going to bring it in for the win with a 4:41.31. Yankunis with a 4:43.98. 4:46.91 for Pryor. Wolfson from Bartlesville with a 4:51.97. Rounding out our top 5 will be David Logan from Norman North with a 4:56.35. Fun race to watch.
Your winner, Luke Davis from Edmond Memorial, 4:41.31, his winning time as he shaves 17 seconds off of his prelim time. Check my calculator first that time. All right, so a great race there. As you can see, the young men catching their breath, some staring at the scoreboard, liking what they see, and others maybe not quite as much. But that'll lead us into our next special of the evening, and that will be more award ceremonies, and that'll be the 100 Freestyle Awards that'll be handed out from some of the races earlier in the afternoon. So go back and find out who won those. And we had the unusual. Be fun to see in the girls 100-yard free in the award presentation. Of course, the girls ended up tied for first place.
Right.
June Harris and Kelly Fisher. So we'll turn it over again, once again, our public address announcer, Alan Meyer.
6th, Perry, Putnam City North. 5th, Posey, Union. 4th, Stuyven, Bixby. 3rd, Bildinger, Bartlesville. 1st place, we have a tie with a time of 51.87. Kelly Fisher from Edmond Memorial, June Harris, Bartlesville. Now for event 12, the boys 100-yard freestyle. 8th place, Pennington, Owasso. 7th, Sung Jenks. 6th, Myers, Edmond Memorial. 5th, Bick Jenks. 4th, Wilson, Norman North. 3rd, Trong from Jenks. Second, Tang Norman North. First place from OSSAA with a time of 45:79, Sam Jones.
Splash and dash.
All right, so there you saw the trophy presentation, or the award ceremony, if you will, however you want to term that. And congratulations once again, June Harris and Kelly Fisher from Bartlesville and Memorial, respectively. They tied for first place in that girls 100-yard free. And then the champion in the boys division was Sam Jones from Owasso, as he was victorious in taking home the 100-yard freestyle. We've had the awards given out, and that will turn us next. Event 15, that'll be the girls 200-yard freestyle relay. And this, of course, the first race will be the B final.
Teams in this: Putnam City in 1, Mustang 2, Norman 3, Bixby 4, Enid 5, Owasso 6, Norman North in 7, Choctaw in 8. Do call this the Splash and Dash ×4. I apologize in advance that I'm not going to be able to announce all the swimmers by name through this. It happens that fast, just can't get them all in. Looked like in that first turn, Bixby, stand corrected, Enid would have been out to a good lead here in this first 50 of this. They exchange into the second swimmer, 25:09. Owasso in second. Norman in third with a 27:6. Try to get a few of these in here. These swimmers come back through here. Alleman from Putnam City, Kawaguchi from Mustang, Sigloshi from Norman, Nesby from Bixby, Sanchez from Enid, Bates from Owasso, Ermeling from Norman North, and Courtney from Choctaw will be swimming the third leg.
Splash and dash ×4. See, I learn something new from you every year.
I may be the only one that calls it that, but
I like it.
It seems appropriate. You don't want to blink or you'll miss it. I think we've gotten a little off count on some of our touches. It is going to be Enid still with the lead with a 122.16, 122.34 for Bixby in 4, Owasso in third with a 123.25. Does look like Bixby has overtaken Enid for first as they turn for the final 25 to bring home the conclusion of this girls' B final race. It is going to be Bixby to bring home the win. We're going to touch first with a 148.05. Norman comes in second with a 149.64, 150.15 for Owasso in third. So during the relays, probably should say those are unofficial results. There are the early takeoff possibilities, some of those things we'll know a little bit later. I didn't see anything, at least from our perspective, that looked like an early takeoff, but those things are controlled by the relay takeoff pads. There are some visual backups. Looks like that one was probably clean all the way through.
Well, they had to change one of those takeoff pads right before we began this 6A championship. I mean, it came down to the last couple final seconds, and they were able to get it done, as they do with most everything at these swimming championships, as they stay right on schedule, right on cue.
It looked almost like a NASCAR pit stop. Everybody kind of knew what the other one was doing. They got that thing unstrapped, the new one set down, strapped on, all the plugs plugged back in. Got the A final here of the women's 200-yard free relay. And in lane 1, Edmond Santa Fe. Lane 2, Edmond North. Lane 3, Jinx. Lane 4, Bartlesville. Lane 5, Edmond Memorial. Lane 6, Broken Arrow. Lane 7, Union. And lane 8, Putnam City North.
Record was set back in 2016 by the Bartlesville team at a time of 136.61, the fastest prelim time here was, again, Bartlesville, 137.48, so that might be something that falls here.
Wouldn't surprise me if that falls. I would expect that Chad has turned up the wick a little bit on these girls. They've got a pretty good lead. He may be kind of giving them a little freedom on the blocks, saying, hey, you know, if we can get this, you know, press that exchange a little bit. Lead swimmers come back through here. Is going to be Bartlesville with the early lead as expected with a 24:05. Over in 7 have Tulsa Union second behind with a 25:05. Memorial with a 25:42 in third. Bartlesville growing that lead. They get ready to hand off third swimmer. Sydney Perry will be third for Bartlesville. She took a flying start at that. Good underwaters. Got to about mid-pool before she surfaced. Has a good kick going. Turns to bring home her final 50. Get ready to hand it off to the anchor, Greta Olson, senior from Bartlesville that we talked about earlier. There goes Greta in the pool at a 1:11.82. 25 is certainly doable for her. Looks like this is going to be a close one. Not going to surprise me at all if she gets back, helps Bartlesville reset this record. 34, 135. What's she going to do? She's going to touch in a 135.88. About 0.8 of a second. New record for Bartlesville. Coming in second, 139.62. Memorial. Jinx in third with a 143.63. Great race from those Bartlesville women.
Yeah, we thought there was a chance, and by golly, they took it and set a new state record. It was 136.61. The new record, 135.88. Bartlesville passing it on to another Bartlesville team just 2 years later.
My guess is that Olson and maybe even June Harris were part of, Benninger could have been part of that relay team that held the record. Turn it over to the men's version of the 200-yard freestyle relay. B final, Choctaw in 2, Putnam City North in 3, Norman in 4, Yukon in 5, Mustang in 6. Tight race here in this B final as these leadoff swimmers handed over to their second leg of their relay. Norman in first with a 24.98, Yukon with a 25.14, Mustang with a 25.62. Midway point, it's going to be Norman maintaining their lead with a 51.71, but only 500ths behind them is Yukon with a 51.76. Putnam City North with a 52.09. Anchor leg swimmers have all stepped up on the blocks, getting ready to take the race to them. Norman with about a half a second lead, 1:16.44 to Yukon's 1:16.97. Putnam City North 1:19.15. Looks like the final swimmer here for Norman, Sullivan, extended their lead a little bit. They finished with a time of 1:38.33. Yukon holds on to second with a 1:40.50. Putnam City North with a 1:43.96.
So the B final is complete, which of course will take us then to the A final, the boys 200-yard freestyle relay.
Yes.
Well, it's getting late, Max, and all these races became a lot more important as the team scoring. Pretty well decided in girls, but not the boys.
We've had a change in the lead since our last update. After 14 events, we're on event 16 now. Jinx had taken the lead by 4 points over Norman North, 281 to 277. These relays count double points, 40 points to the winner, 34 points to second. So these points really add up. These two teams are side by side as they were in the first relay and kind of have been all night. It's going to be a great race to watch.
Norman North with a 126.65 prelim score. Jenks 129.72.
You know, each of these two teams only has one senior on this relay. It'll be fun to watch how these teams compete. Set the field. Officials straighten out a few things. Edmond Memorial in 1, Enid in 2, Owasso in 3, Norman North in 4, Jinx in 5, Bartlesville in 6, Union in 7, Edmond Santa Fe in 8. A-finals in the water here. Always interesting to me. These guys churn and burn down through that first 25. There's kind of that split second of silence as they all hit that wall at about the same time. Here goes Norman North with an early lead, 20-97. That's a great split. Great, of course, that's Aiden Hayes that we saw earlier win the 50 free. So not unexpected there. Get them an early lead, see if they can maintain it and hold it throughout this race, with Jinx just to their outside. One lane further away from us. 42-6 with Norman North, 44-65 for Jinx. Don't sleep on Enid out there in 2, 45-5. I wouldn't also discount Owasso. We've seen they've got some guys that come to race. They've got some great sprinters there from Owasso. Could mix this thing up a little too. Turning over to the anchor leg here. Norman North maintains their lead, 104.38. The Jinx 106.78. Owasso has edged on into third with a 109.21. Norman North going to win this thing going away. 125.05, new state record. Jinx in second with a 128.76. Just edged out Owasso in third. 130.10, just a few tenths behind Bartlesville with a 131.66. Great race from that. That was maybe one of those that snuck up on me a little bit too. Maybe didn't see that state record falling in that.
Yes, those guys were leaving after it went from one swimmer to the next. These guys were underwater almost half the pool, if not even more in some cases, and certainly getting it done. As you mentioned, a new state record, 125.05 for Norman North, breaking the old record held by Jenks of 126.08. That record's been around for 17 years. We'll take a timeout. We'll continue our coverage of the 6A State Swim Championships from the Edmond Aquatic Center as we come back.
It's Ford Truck Month at your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Our biggest sales event of the year. Now's the time to save on our full line of Ford trucks and Ford SUVs, America's most trusted brand. Save big on Escape, Edge, and Explorer, and the redesigned Expedition. A huge selection, the best offers. Now, current Ford owners get 0 for 60 plus $1,500 cash on Explorer when financed through Ford Credit. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. Now she has the internet speed to keep business moving and the voice features that keep her connected.
Dessert Rose Bakery. Oh, hi.
It's just another way we do business differently. Make the switch to Cox Business.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
Everybody work out, feel the energy. Build a better body, the best that you can be. Better body, easy as 1, 2, 3. Strong abs, lean back, tight buns, love to run, strap crunch, chest fly, pull those arms over high. Better body, easy as 1, 2, 3 with Total Jam.
Welcome back to the 6A Swim Championships, brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. As we have a bit of a break here, Max is doing some of his rough math, and this boys' race is going to be something else. State record just set by Norman North, but Jenks has been hard charging along the way as well.
If my Mrs. Graham's third grade math served me well, Norman North has edged out to a 2-point lead here with just a few events left, 3:17 to Jenks 3:15. I do believe it's not too early to call that Bartlesville are going to be our women's state champs.
All right, we'll take a timeout and we'll continue as we return to the 6A State Swim Championships at your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Game of the Week will return.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month. The place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series, including Motor Trend's Truck of the Year F-150. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner. Now during Ford Truck Month, get up to $3,500 cash back on Ford Super Duty. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
I need some serious internet.
We have speeds from 10 megs to 10 gigs.
But I have locations all over the city.
No problem. Cox Business delivers consistently fast internet, no matter your location.
What about here?
Yep.
Here?
Of course. Here. That's a river. Exit ramp. Tree. That's the penguin house at the zoo. But sure.
You're good. He's good. He's good. I'm good.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
Are you drowning in debt? Struggling just to make minimum payments? It's not your fault. Serious debt can happen to anyone, but there is hope. Our debt-free program has helped thousands of good people, just like you, eliminate their credit card debt. Call us today, and we will dramatically reduce your credit card debt down to just a fraction of what you owe. The call is free. The consultation is free. Take control of your credit debt. Take control of your life again. Call now to see how our debt-free program can work for you.
Call 800-390-1650.
It was pretty cool.
Welcome back to the Edmond Aquatic Center, the site for the 6A OSSAA Swimming Championship Finals. It's your Ford Game of the Week. You've been doing some tinkering with the numbers, and you think it might go all the way down to the last race in this boys competition.
I really think it's going to. Just looking ahead at the races that are left, have kind of some equal numbers in the finals and B finals. Backstroke, Jinx has 1 in the B, 2 in the A. Norman North has 3 in the A. Kind of the same thing in the breaststroke. They're going to race side by side in that last relay. So
looks like it's going to be a good one.
You don't want to go get any refreshments or take a break the rest of this meet.
Keep it right here. We'll keep you updated and follow it as we can as we move now to event number 17. This is the girls' 100-yard backstroke. This will be the B final, obviously, in our first race. And we both kind of agreed, concurred that Bartlesville girls have all but wrapped this up.
They have a 349.5 point standings at this point. Second place, Edmond North, has 163.
Wow.
So you're just not going to overcome that lead with these few races left, even with double relay points.
It seems that core that, the Bartlesville girls have has been around for quite a long time. Giovanetti, we mentioned her, and some of the other young ladies that have performed so well here this afternoon. Got all those points in the relay races. Kate Stewart, of course, setting a state record earlier in the girls' 200-yard individual medley. So
you'll have June Harris that she tied for the 100 free, right? She's a junior. They keep reloading up there. They've got some good people behind them.
It's been a great day of swimming here at the Edmond Aquatic Center, a facility that's not very old. We've been happy to bring you all the action here today. Wave to everybody out there enjoying all the action. Say hi to your math teacher too, don't forget that.
That maybe. I will say hi to my daughter Madison and my son-in-law Clay. They've been begging to be mentioned, so hey kids.
Very good. It's been a great day here. 5A state championships were already crowned, and of course the Stillwater girls, Booker T. Washington boys were state champions. Congratulations to them. And of course it looks as though the Bartlesville girls will take home the girls championship here, and the boys yet to be decided. Norman North and Jenks fighting it out.
All right, B final here in the girls 100 back. We have Vaughn from Broken Arrow in 1, Cunningham from Bartlesville in 2, Dawson from Broken Arrow in 3, Jackaway from Bixby in 4, Brenning from Edmond North in 5, Green from Bartlesville in 6, Lugafett from Edmond North in 7, and Huang from Norman North in 8. Girls are off and on their way. They can be submerged after the start out to the 15-meter mark, which they're just now passing. For those of you watching at home, see the yellow buoy that they just passed. That's the 15-meter mark. They can turn here. Have to surface again by the 15-meter mark coming back, which is they're just now passing. They obviously did that well in advance of that. No threat of anybody being DQ'd for that. The halfway point, Jackaway from Bixby with a 30.52. Dawson from Broken Arrow with a 31.10. Brenning from North with a 31.71. Jackaway continuing to build on her lead. Lane 3, Dawson, and stays right on her shoulder. See if she can make a little bit of a charge at her here as they get ready to pass under what we do call the backstroke flag, so they can count their strokes in, know how to time their finish and their turns. Jackaway touches first with a 102.74. Dawson with a 104.35. Lugafett from North with a 105.21.
So the freshman Savannah Jackaway from Bixby is your winner in the B final of the girls 100-yard breaststroke. As they exit the pool, make way for the A final coming up. As we look at the field here, this seems to be pretty well spread out amongst a number of schools. Don't see Edmond Memorial does have 2. Edmond North, Bartlesville, Bixby, Broken Arrow, and Union.
Lane 1, we have Sava from Edmond North, Parker from Edmond Memorial, Shipman from Bartlesville in 3, Henderson from Bixby in 4, Kelly Fisher from Edmond Memorial in 5, Kramer, Broken Arrow in 6, Von Hart from Union in 7, and Bushy from Edmond Memorial in 8. Pretty tightly bunch group of young ladies, all under 1 minute. In the middle of the pool, 4, 5, 3, and 6. I do expect the race really today to be between Kelly Fisher and Kaylee Henderson, 2 great competitors. These young ladies will be just like the 100 free we saw from Kelly Fisher earlier. These two ladies are going to go out stroke for stroke, side by side. It's just going to who can get their head down and get to the wall first at the end of this race.
Girls A final of the 100-yard backstroke. Record held by Riley Lindhart of Edmond North. Said her name a few times here this afternoon. 56:52 was her state record time back in 2015.
And ladies hit the wall, they turn. Good underwater shot. Enjoy looking at that view. As expected, these two young ladies going stroke for stroke. Looks like Fisher's going to have just a slight advantage. Gets her feet on the wall first. 27:64 to a 27:76 of Henderson. Shipman from Bartlesville in third with a 28:67. Fisher starts her turn a little earlier than Henderson did. Henderson's got her head back, stroking real hard. Doesn't look like Fisher's going to be denied this second state championship of the weekend. What a great way to finish her individual swim career here at the Oklahoma State High School Championships. Win goes to Fisher with a 56:56. Second to Henderson from Bixby with a 57:01. Delaney Shipman from Bartlesville with a 58:86.
So congratulations to Kelly Fisher. I think she shared one a little earlier. This one she keeps to keep for herself. 56:56, the winning time for Kelly Fisher.
Just missed that state record, 0.04 of a second.
Yeah, wow.
Great race.
So the girls will exit the pool and make room for the boys as we move next to the 100-yard backstroke. This is event number 18 of 22. We're nearing the end. I know you, young man we've been talking about earlier, David Plummer, set the record back in 2004.
Yes, he was one we talked about in the Mount Rushmore of swimmers.
Right.
Got another one coming up here in a minute we'll talk about. Field for the B final here in the men's 100 backstroke B final. Hudson from Edmond North, Batts from Putnam City North, Fenderson from Choctaw, Healy from Edmond North, Gerling from Union, Howard from Jinx, Boynton from Mustang, and Mateo from Broken Arrow. It'll be important for Jinx. I'm sure Coach John Turner had a talk with Howard saying, hey, we need you to move up, score as many points. Came in here seeded fourth. You know, we really need you to hop up there, see if you can advance a place or two. At the turn, he was in fifth. Yearling touched first at the 50. So they come back. Does look like Yearling does have a little bit of a lead over in 5. Looks like he's going to be able to bring this back for the win. Going to be Yearling with a 56:25, Healy with a 57 flat, Fenderson with a 58:73, and Howard with a 59:03. Round out the top 4.
That is the B final. In the A final, as you mentioned, Norman North will have 3 swimmers, David Logan and Nate McMillan. And will swim in lanes 4 and 5. Nathan Tucker in lane 1, and then Jenks has 2 swimmers in lanes 7 and 8. Jenks got to try to break through and push up some of those guys up a little bit higher if they're going to maintain the pace.
We did have a Von Hardich in the A final of the women's back. There was a Von Hardich that had a record until last year that I think was one of those, you know, had been set in 94. She might be one of those that would be on that Mount Rushmore. Braden, the A finalist, men's A finalist in lane 1. We're going to have Tucker from Norman North, Reekfors from Bartlesville in 2, Norton from Owasso in 3, Logan from Norman North in 4, McMillan from Norman North in 5, Goddard from Bartlesville in 6, Burt from Jinx in 7, and Wolmerans from Jinx in 8. I mean, that's a huge jump. If any of these guys are going to try to knock David Plummer off that record board, they're going to have to have obviously a lifetime best swim. That could be one of those that we don't see broken for a while. Been a while already.
Yeah, right.
A longer while.
2004. And even the fastest qualifier in the preliminary rounds, that's almost still 5 seconds faster than what took place yesterday.
Got a good clean start as these guys get off the wall. Fans of swimming probably recognize the Reetfers name, Lucas Reetfers from Bartlesville in lane 2. He's had brothers and sisters ahead of him that have swam. Good to see young swimmers like him. He's a senior this year, finishing out his career here in the A final, men's 100 back. Leading at the 50 is McMillan with a 25.34 in 5. Logan from Norman North with a 25.93. Then Goddard from Bartlesville with a 26.02 in 3rd. Great underwaters out there in lane 5 from McMillan. Went to about mid-pool and have to see who wants to get their head down and get to the wall to take out second. It is McMillan with the win, 53.03. Teammate David Logan finishes second with a 53.52. Goddard from Bartlesville with a 53.65 brings home the bronze for the Bruins. This men's 100 backstroke final.
So next up on the schedule of events will be the 200 free relay awards. And then we have just really 2 more events to swim for the girls and the boys before we wrap things up here on another great Saturday. Let's turn it over once again to our public address announcer.
And the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. For event 15, the girls 200-yard freestyle relay. 8th place, Putnam City North. 7th place, Edmond Santa Fe. 6th place, Broken Arrow. 5th place, Union. 4th place, Edmond North. 3rd place, Jinx. 2nd place, Edmond Memorial. 1st place with a time of 1:35.88, a new state record for Bartlesville High School. Now for event 16, the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. 8th place, Edmond Santa Fe. 7th, Edmond Memorial. 6th, Enid. 5th Union. Fourth Bartlesville. Third OSSAA. Second Jinx. First place with the time of 1:25:05, a new state record for Norman North.
All right, so some more awards given out. Happy group of youngsters there, celebrating in their own way and enjoying all the hard work that they have put in. As Norman North was your champion, and they set a new state record in doing so in the boys 200-yard free of 1:25:05.
I don't know which is packed tighter, the stands or the metal platform on a relay.
That's right.
A lot of people up in those stands today.
All right, our next event coming up, event number 19, it's the girls 100-yard breaststroke. B final will be coming up first, obviously. 4 young ladies from Edmond North will be in this B final. Jenks has 2. Bixby and Mustang 1 apiece.
Have Mills from Edmond North, Fuchs from Edmond North, Howard from Jinx, Reynolds from Edmond North, Brown from Bixby, Burton from Edmond North, Kawaguchi from Mustang, Richardson from Jinx. Interesting to note that Edmond North does have 4 swimmers in this B final. Each team is only allowed to enter 4 swimmers in each event. So Edmond North obviously has gotten all theirs into the B finals, make a lot of good points by qualifying all them there. Breaststrokers coming down through here on the first 50. Emma Reynolds from North off to a good solid early lead, 32.97. Howard from Jinx with a 34.83. Out in lane 7, Kawaguchi from Mustang with a 34.95, making a good jump in that first 50. Have to see how these young ladies do as they start to transition into that final 25. Looks like at this point the field has touched and turned. Reynolds from North has a comfortable lead, has probably 4 or 5 body lengths on the field. It is going to be a tight race for second, it looks like. We see Reynolds touch first with a 1:09.12. Kawaguchi from Mustang jumped up there to finish second with a 1:14.36. Brown in lane 5 from Bixby with a 1:14.34.
So congratulations to Emma Reynolds as she took about 2 seconds off of her qualifying time, and that'll bring us the A final coming up in the girls 100-yard breaststroke. Bartlesville, looks like they've got 3 swimmers in this race, and they're all right there in the middle of the pool. So this could be almost like a practice for them. The top 3 times all coming from Bartlesville in this 100-yard breaststroke coming up.
Kate Stewart is state record holder. She set this record 2 years ago with a 1:02.17. She is our fastest qualifier this evening with a 1:02.64. My guess is she's gunning to reset that record. She's obviously the class of the field here, full 2.5 second top qualifier. We have Rossi from Memorial, Edmond Memorial in 1, Dowley from Norman in 2, Perry from Bartlesville in 3, Stewart from Bartlesville in 4, Downey from Bartlesville in 5, Fenton from Jinx in 6, Godwin from Enid in 7, and Bates in 8 from Owasso. Ladies get the long whistle and step up on the block to get ready to race. Stewart and their teammate Downey made the turn pretty close together, but Stewart has stretched out to a little bit of a lead here as they touch at the 50. Stewart with a 28.84, Downey with a 29.81. Fellow teammate Sidney Perry with a 30.71 in third. This third 25, Stewart really pressing the race, extending her lead, just building on that. She can put together a decent back half on this, which I expect she can. She's going to reset her own record. Going to be close though. She puts her head down, makes that final go. 1:01.46, new state record by about a half a second for her. 1:03.47 in second for Erin Downey. 1:06.35 for Sidney Perry from Bartlesville in third.
1:01.46, the new state record time for Kate Stewart of Bartlesville. Congratulations to her, and kind of, I don't know, ironic or whatever that she sets the record as a sophomore, doesn't reset it as a junior, but comes back her senior season and does so.
I was trying to remember what happened. She may have swam some different events last year or got close. There was one year that the teammate said it in prelims, and then Kate said it in finals, so they had a teammate thing going.
All right, that'll bring us to event number 20, the boys 100-yard breaststroke. This will be the B final. Spread out amongst a number of schools here.
Kind of set the story as we start the B finals here. Norman North has jumped back into the lead with 367 points. Jinx at 338. Jinx did have a swimmer disqualified in the B final of the breaststroke. I'm sorry, of the backstroke, so that adjusted the points a little bit. So keep that in mind as we run down through these lane assignments. David from Edmond Memorial, Pro 9 from Norman North, Mendoza from Jinx in 3, Nail from Jinx in 4, Reed from Santa Fe in 5, McVeigh from Owasso in 6, Sturgeon from Enid in 7, and Hart from Memorial in 8. Mendoza from Jinx out to an early lead in 3. Gatlin from Jinx in 2nd. Reed from Santa Fe in 3rd with a 29.62. That's what John Turner's needing to have happen. Have these guys score some good points, jump up a spot or two.
Here the state record is 24 years old. Kyle Martin from Edmond Memorial.
Is one of those that I don't know him or anything about him, but he might be one of those Mount Rushmore people.
56.15 was his state record time as we look up here.
Mendoza comes in for the win in lane 3 with a 1:02.12. Reed from Santa Fe snuck in there to finish 2nd with a 1:03.01. Little outside smoke snuck up on him with David down in lane 1 with a 1:03.76. That's kind of going to jumble the points. Anxious to get those updates when we complete this event.
And that brings us to the finalists, the A final for the boys 100-yard breaststroke. Jenks has 2 swimmers, Norman North 1. That's really what we're watching here. These last couple of races is the matchup between the 2 teams still fighting for that boys state championship. Bartlesville girls have put this away a long time ago.
Jinx is going to come out with more points out of this event with having 4 swimmers in it versus the 2 from North. Just depends on, Stomatin will get that point differential if he could win this, 3-point differential between 1st and 2nd. We just have to see how that goes. That's why we swim the races, right?
That's right.
See how it goes. Heiberger from Enid in 1, Silva from Edmond North in 2, Englehart from Bartlesville in 3, Stomatin from Norman North in 4, Sullivan from Norman in 5, Rolfson from Bartlesville in 6, Miller from Jinx in 7, Wolmerans from Jinx in 8. Have a bit of a equipment issue out here. One of the starting blocks having trouble getting a little adjusted. Had a misfire. I think it was this morning, wasn't it, Steve, that we had a swimmer that That back fin wasn't set, and he went to push off and kind of slipped. Don't want to see that here in an all-important A final. Give him time to get set. Underwater camera there as these guys hit the first turn and make their turn. Well, they're not on that wall very long, are they, Steve? Just touch and go. They do have to have a simultaneous two-hand touch at each turn. This is going to be Stamatin with a 26.35 from Norman North. Sullivan from Norman in second with a 27.32. Wolmerans from Jinx making a big jump. 8th qualifier. Going in third in that first turn. See if he can maintain that spot through the remainder of this race. Score some better points than an 8th place seeding. It is going to be Stamatin going to bring home the win for Norman North in first with a 56.98. Sullivan from Norman with a 58.50. Wolmerans does come in with a 59.93 to bring home the bronze for Jinx. Make a big jump point wise for them. Then in fourth, we do have Englehart from Bartlesville with a 1:03.
Stamatin, the winning time, 56.98. Not too far off the state record that we talked about. It was set back in 1994 by Kyle Martin. His time was 56.15, so just 83 100ths off that pace.
24 years, that record. You know, when you think about changes in technology, you know, the suits have made a big difference over the course of time, though now they have some limits on those. Training techniques, you know, pool availability, all those things for a record to stand that long is really amazing.
Got the awards coming up for the 100-yard backstroke.
8th place, Butchie from Edmond Memorial. 7th place, Sava, Edmond North. 6th place, Van Hardage, Union. 5th place, Kramer, Broken Arrow. 4th place, Parker, Edmond Memorial. 3rd place, Shipman, Bartlesville. 2nd place, Henderson, Bixby. 1st place with a time of 56.56 from Edmond Memorial, Kelly Fisher. Now event 18, the boys 100-yard backstroke. 8th place, Romarians from Jinx. 7th, Burke, Jinx. 6th, Tucker, Norman North. 5th, Norton, Owasso. 4th, Redford, Bartlesville. 3rd, Goddard, Bartlesville. 2nd, Logan, Norman North. 1st place with a time of 53.03 from Norman North, Nate McMillan.
So there's your award winners for the boys 100-yard breaststroke. Nate McMillan from Norman North, his winning time 53:03, and that gets us back to racing. And gets us now near the end as we move to event number 21. This is the girls 400-yard freestyle relay, and once again, as always, the B final will be coming up first. The boys will follow that, and then the final races of the day will be the boys and girls 400-yard freestyle relay. Girls championship, go ahead.
Got a text from a good friend that Bob Stab. A lot of people know him. He used to coach Conoco Phillips swim team, Bartlesville team. Says Kyle Martin swam for Kerr-McGee Swim Club and then went on to swim at Texas A&M. Good little history lesson there. Thanks, Bob.
So 94, that would have been what, the Southwest Conference, I guess.
Yes, probably would have been, wouldn't it? Get ready for the girls 400-yard freestyle relay. B final, Choctaw in 1, Edmond Santa Fe in 2, Westmore in 3, Broken Arrow in 4, Owasso in 5, Enid in 6, Yukon in 7, Putnam City in 8. Have Courtney for Choctaw, Estes for Edmond Santa Fe, Abraham for Westmore, Kramer Broken Arrow, Rayburn Owasso, Sanchez Enid, Coney for Yukon, and Batdorf for Putnam City. Going into this final event for the women, Bartlesville have 425.5 points to Edmond Memorial's 213.5. Edmond North with 204. Set the fields, set the table a little bit for the men's finals. We get ready to race that here just in a few minutes. Norman North has 391 to Jinx 379, 12-point differential. They'll go side by side in that race. The women make the exchange. First exchange, send the second swimmer on her way. 59.89 for Broken Arrow. 101.76 for Owasso. Westmore in third with a 103.93. Hightower for Choctaw, Wong for Edmond for Santa Fe, Wells for Westmore, Vaughn for Broken Arrow, Hopper for Owasso, Arambula from Enid, Aguilera for Yukon, and Alleman from Putnam City. Broken Arrow holding on to a good lead, stretched out to almost 4 seconds over Owasso. Enid has creeped into third just with a slight margin, 134.22 to Westmore's 134.83. Third leg swimmers are stepping up on the blocks, watching their second leg swimmer bring it to them. Is going to be Broken Arrow in their striped tiger caps. Send their third swimmer on her way, 201.82. Owasso in second with a 207.61. Enid holds on to their third place position with a 208.96 to Westmore's 209.36. In the water now, Oldham for Choctaw, Vallis for Santa Fe, Wells for Westmore, Prescott for Broken Arrow, Height for Owasso, Ostmeyer for Enid, Lee for Yukon, Hayworth for Putnam City. Serena Barker for Broken Arrow already stepped up on the blocks as her teammate makes the turn with 25 to go. Klobus from Choctaw, Vaughn from Santa Fe, Westmore has Gatton. Owasso will have Horsley, Rose for Enid, Boswell for Yukon, Guzman for Putnam City. Away goes Barker, 303.93. Owasso 312.24 is a pretty steep hill to climb if they want to make up 9 seconds. We'll see what kind of steam they have. Westmore has 315.12 in third. They had creeped back slightly ahead of Enid, who has dropped back to fourth with a 318.42. We'll see what the ankle swimmers can do here.
the B final, the girls 400-yard free relay.
Barker makes her final turn. Going to come back on the final 25. Has the win for this girls B final well in hand. What the time is and how it compares to yesterday is really the only question. She touches in a 4:05.54. Little improvement over yesterday. Owasso going to come home in second with a 4:12.09. Going to be Westmore. Is it going to be Enid? It is Westmore in third with a 4:17.49. Santa Fe in fourth, 4:24.76.
Final swimmers coming in to finish off the B final of the girls 400 free relay. That, of course, will take us to the A final. That'll have Edmond North in lane 1, Jenks in 2, Memorial in 3, Bartlesville in 4, Bixby in 5, Union in 6, Norman North in 7, and Norman High in 8th.
Well, there's the Mermaid gang from Norman. At least that's what their shirt says.
Showing off their t-shirts.
Showing off the shirt
That's
we just
right.
talked about.
They're a little more creative than the football players say, or the baseball players. And that adds a little bit of fun to the mix as well.
There's Kelly Fisher, two-time state champ this year.
The Mermaid gang. When I talked to Kent Nicholson on the radio the other day, he did not mention anything about the Mermaid gang, so we'll see how they do.
A lot of excitement there as these young ladies get ready to take the pool for the final time this season.
This is the final girls race, as Max said, of the year. And then we've got the B and A final coming up for the boys 400-yard free relay. And that'll put a wrap on the high school season. How much drama do we have left? Well, we'll yet to stick around and find out.
Hope the crowd at home can hear the crowd noise here. Bartlesville, as we've mentioned, always travels well. Top qualifier in this event. A lot of excitement as these girls were coming in to get ready for the start.
So did Bartlesville break the record yesterday? What I'm looking is what I'm seeing here. They went 3:31.40. The record was by Bartlesville 3:32.08.
They are the current record holder that they set yesterday with a 3:31.4. With this kind of lead in hand, as they were in the earlier relay, they're going to be pressing this, wanting good starts, safe starts, but good quick starts. Have June Harris tied for the win in the 100 free, off to a good start, 25:12. That's a really good first 53. Union out there in lane 6 with a 25:87. Followed by Bixby with a 26:02. Harris adding on to her lead, but Union there in 6, maintaining close contact. Away goes Bartlesville with a 52:03, 53:36 for Union, 54:30 for Memorial, 54:80 for Bixby. Have Ott for North, Edmond North in the pool now, Vargas for Jenks, Bushy for Edmond Memorial, Bittinger for Bartlesville, Jackaway for Bixby, Wu from Union, Wong from Norman North, and Starkey from Norman. Bittinger makes the turn at a 1:16.7. Tight race for second goes to Memorial with a 1:20.63, 1:20.94 for Union. But right on their heels is Bixby with a 1:22.16. Bearing down on the halfway point. Have Aaron Downey on the block for Bartlesville. Junior young lady, really good sprinter. Looked like a really great start from here. Touching second. Lane 3 is Memorial with a 1:50.30, 1:52.15 for Bixby. They've taken that third spot from Union at a 1:52.21. Have Sylvester for Edmond North, Jones for Jinx, Parker for Edmond Memorial, Downey for Bartlesville, Brown for Bixby, Von Harditz from Union, Ackroy from Norman North, and Schlupp from Norman in 8. Bartlesville holds on to that lead with a 2:08.9 at the turn. Memorial with 2:15.8. Real tight race for third continues between Bixby and Union, with Union holding an ever so slight lead. Getting ready to hand the swim off over to Kate Stewart, senior sensation, as she hits the water. Final swim of her high school career. See what she can split on her 100 freestyle. Memorial holds on to second with a 2:44.42. Who's going to come back in third? It is Union with a 2:49.28. For Bixby's 2:50.94. Have Lugafett for Edmond North. Fenton for Jinx. Kate splits at 24.28 first 50, saying this record is really in jeopardy as they make these final turns. Stephen for Bixby, Posey for Union, Bourne from Norman North, and Dowley from Norman. Here the Bartlesville fans going crazy as Kate Stewart brings the final swim in. Here she comes. Here's the touch. 3:27.11, 4 seconds better, 3.5 than their record from yesterday. What an impressive swim by them. Coming in second, 3:37.43 for Memorial. Tight race as it turns out for third. Goes to Union with a 3:44.08. Bixby with a 3:44.26 in fourth. Jinx in fifth with a 3:50.19.
So how about that? They held the record. They reset the record yesterday and reset it again today. That's right. That's how you do it.
That was some impressive swims. Really, I'm going to be anxious to see what Stewart split that last 100 in.
So we didn't have many state records broken early in this 6A meet, but boy, they've been coming fast and furious, and that is 2 of the last 3. And probably 4 of the last 6 or so, where we have had a state record fall once again. Now the boys 400-yard freestyle relay. This is the B final. As you take a look at the field there, record is held by Jenks. They set it back in 2016, so just 2 years ago, of 3:08.42. Again, this is the B final with the A final yet to swim.
Field for this B final in the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. Lane 1 is Cooper for Moore, Selman for Bixby, Campbell for Santa Fe, Sloan for Enid, Dorsey Johnson for Norman, Lee Brock for Edmond Memorial, and Degaston from Choctaw. 24:05 for Enid in their first split. Norman in second with a 26:27, and Santa Fe with a 26:48.
Underwater look at the turn as they progress here in what is the second to last match of the evening. The boys final in the 400-yard freestyle relay coming up after this one, and that'll put a wrap on the swimming for the day.
Enid with the lead at the exchange, 50-44 to 54-75 for Santa Fe. We have Ersland in for Moore, Jordan for Bixby, Vales for Santa Fe, Kim for Enid, Trumbull for Norman, Matthews for Edmond Memorial, and Lewis for Choctaw.
They finish up this B final. Did we get a final number of Jenks and Norman North going into that next race?
Have Norman North at 391. Jinx with 379. So it's going to come down to that relay. I've got my scratch pad, my Big Chief tablet out. I'm ready to do the math.
You got to have a Big Chief tablet.
As soon as we know the results.
Norman North swam that in a 3:12.08 to take that event, and then Jenks was right behind them at 3:17.76. So unless that flip-flops, looks looks like Norman North would take it, but a lot of other things could happen as well.
Third swimmers make their way down through the field. Anchor swimmer stepping up on the blocks. Have Stevens from Moore, Hobus from Bixby, Mathviv from Santa Fe, Cho from Enid, Lau from Norman, Shin from Edmond Memorial, Posada for Choctaw. Getting ready to turn it over to fourth legs. We've got Hunter from Moore, Harold from Bixby, Fiorazzo for Santa Fe, Whittington for Enid, Trachtenberg for Norman, Hart for Memorial, and Fenderson for Choctaw. 246.08, Enid continues their lead. 247.65, Norman in second. Memorial is in third with a 249.67. Trachtenberg for Norman begins his pursuit of Whittington in 4 from Enid. Looks like he's almost caught him up. These boys turn in their final 25. Come off the walls, going to see who's got most gas left in the tank. Does look like Whittington's going to be able to hold on, just edge out the win for Enid in 4 with a 3:39.17 to Norman's 3:39.56. Just a few seconds behind Memorial with a 3:44.28.
Swimmers finishing up in this B final in the boys 400-yard free relay. As the final swimmer touches the wall, that will bring us to our final competition of the day. There's a look once again at the, well, it was very quickly how fast that went by. But now we move to the A final. And what everybody's going to be watching here is lanes 4 and 5. Norman North in 4, leading Jenks, who's in lane 5. They turned in the 2 fastest times. And we'll see how that plays out and where it all finishes in this 6A state championship, really final race.
Just a reminder, it's 40 points to win this, 34 for second, 32 for third, 30 for fourth, on down the row. So need clean exchanges. I'm sure Ken Dickinson is telling them we need clean exchanges, good swims. They've got enough of a lead that, you know, they can afford to give up that 6 points. I'm sure he doesn't want to, but they do have that little bit of a safety net. Be interesting to see how these teams swim this race. You know, Jinx will be going all out to win the thing. We have Edmond North in 1, Putnam City North in 2, Bartlesville in 3, Norman North in 4, Jinx in lane 5, 4 and 5, just as we've been all day. Every relay, a lot of the A finals, they've been 4 and 5, Union in 6, Owasso in 7, Yukon in 8. Good to see one of the no pool state champion contender Yukon up here in this A final of this event.
And PC North
Putnam
too, right? City
North too. Looked like a great start from my perspective. Also as expected, 4 and 5 are off like they've been shot out of a cannon. Prosey from Norman North, McAfee from Putnam City North, Reetfors, Bartlesville, Aiden Hayes, not the first time we've called his name, not surprising either that he's out in a 22:05. Sung from Jinx, Hartgrave from Union, Stelzer from Owasso, Ramirez from Yukon. Hayes makes the turn, he's got a great underwater there, gets to about half pool before he surfaces, keeps his arms going, got a good kick into it. He's going to turn it over to Wilson. Jinx hit the water third with a 49.75. Bartlesville was in at a 49.45 in second. Have Hudson for Edmond North, Joey Batts from Putnam City North, Englehart for Bartlesville, Wilson for Norman North, Bick from Jinx, Pan from Union, Dugan from Owasso, Davidson from Yukon. Tight race for second. Only 100 separates Bartlesville in second, Jinx in third. Third leg swimmers up on the blocks, ready to go. Looking again for safe exchanges. That one looked really good from Norman North there, off at a 135.24. Jinx has edged back into the second place position with a 138.2. Bartlesville with a 138.68. Drum for North, Edmond North, Jones for Putnam City North, Rawson from Bartlesville, Tucker from Norman North, Ginn from Jinx, Anderson from Union, Robinson from Owasso, Eberhardt for Yukon. Crowd's really into this. Feel like I'm shouting. There's so much going on, so much excitement on the pool deck, so much excitement in the crowd. Everybody's into this. They know this is what it comes down to at the end of the day. Looks like Jinx may have closed up a little bit there, within about a body length and a half. Norman North hits the water first, 2:24.13. Jinx at a 2:26.46. Bartlesville not far behind with a 2:27.99. Got Reynolds from North, Noah Batts from Putnam City North, Pryor from Bartlesville, Tang from Norman North, Tron from Jinx, Whirling from Union, Wood from Owasso, Ald from Union. Norman North holds on to that lead with a 2:45.85, 2:49.08 for Jinx, 2:51.24. They make the final turn, and the final race of the night is going to be Norman North for the win. They're going to get close to that record. Not going to get the record, but they are going to win this race and thereby the state championship, assuming it's all clean. Be Norman North in with the win at a 3:10.17, Jinx with a 3:13.65, Bartlesville with a 3:17.19 in third.
Swimmers finishing it up here, an exciting finish. It's not official just yet, but we didn't see anything. At least I didn't. You have the more trained eye on that.
I didn't see anything, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on the officials, seeing if we see any conferences going on or anything.
Kind of waiting for the final nine there.
Looks like, again, trusting my rudimentary math, should be Norman North with 4:31 to Jinx's 4:13.
All right, everything seems to be in good order. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll start talking to some of the coaches about this great finish and a great day of swimming here at the Edmond Aquatic Center. Brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. We'll take a timeout and be right back.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom. Look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people. Now during Truck Month, get up to $11,000 in total savings on the 2018 F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. Now she has the internet speed to keep business moving and the voice features that keep her connected.
Dessert Rose Bakery. Oh, hi.
It's just another way we do business differently. Make the switch to Cox Business.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
Join the hiring revolution. At ericsjobs.com, you can post a 30-day job ad for only $25. That's right, only $25. What's the revolution? It's only $25 to post a 30-day job ad, and we reach the same candidates as those other job sites. So get in on the hiring revolution and post your jobs today for $25. Free for job seekers, great for business. ericsjobs.com, $25 job postings.
Welcome back. The OSSAA Swimming Finals, your Ford game of the week. Class 6A is complete. And the final standings tell us what, Max McKnight?
Well, again, my math, which I seem to have lost. I had
the
Norman
winners.
Norman North at 431 and Jinx at 413. I see the printer down at the far end of our table is smoking, so they're printing off results as fast as they can. Hope to have that officially, but it does seem to my math to be that Norman North is the champion. It just stands to reason they had enough of a lead that winning that gave it to them.
All right, the winner in the girls division was Bartlesville for a 4th consecutive year, and their coach, Chad Englehart, joins us. Chad, congratulations. What a dominating performance today by your squad. Kent, can you hear us? Kent Englehart is the Bartlesville girls coach. Chad Englehart. Trying to touch base with him. And Chad, can you hear us now?
I can.
All right, Chad Englehart, the Bartlesville coach. 4 consecutive state championship titles. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It was a dominating performance by your crew. I'm sure you'll say that you didn't expect to dominate as much as you did, but you guys really had a great nucleus of swimmers that we've seen throughout the years.
We've got that great senior class. They finished it off on a high note. 3 of the last 4 events with state records. We'll have some work to do next year. We'll see what kind of coach I really am when all those girls graduate.
Hey Ken, it's Max here. Hey, as we've watched your season throughout the year, you've kind of been the odds-on favorite all year. You're now the 4-time state champ. You've been 3. How do you keep that focus throughout the year? How do you kind of keep the kids with the understanding that the target is on their back and keep them focused on coming back to repeat?
We really don't talk about repeat much. We don't talk about the state championship point-wise much. We talk about individual performances. We talk about getting better as a team and getting better as individuals. And with the focus on that every day, the points at the end take care of themselves.
Hey, looking at your roster, see you have a couple of girls go up and going to rock chalk a little bit. You still hold the breaststroke record up there?
No, I lost that a while back. They don't have a men's program anymore. It's all girls.
Well, I knew that, but I thought you still held it.
No, they retired my old number a long time ago.
Tell us what it's like to coach some of those young ladies that, Kate Stewart and the others that are going on to further their swim career.
It's been a real blessing. It's been a joy and an honor to work with those girls. Their parents are outstanding. It's a really family atmosphere. I couldn't tell you how many hours of volunteerism the parents have done, how much those girls have done. All of them teach lessons for the younger kids as we go through. So they've really been a joy and an honor to work with.
Well, Chad, thanks again. Congratulations. We'll let you get away and go celebrate with your team, and we'll see you again next year.
Thank you. Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Go get thrown in the pool, Chad.
Chad Englehart, the Bartlesville girls head coach, as they win a 4th consecutive state championship. We're going to take a timeout. We'll hope to talk with Norman North head coach Kent Nicholson as his boys won another state championship. We'll do all that when we come back after this timeout from your Oklahoma Ford dealers.
I need some serious internet.
We have speeds from 10 megs to 10 gigs.
But I have locations all over the city.
No problem. Cox Business delivers consistently fast internet, no matter your location.
What about here?
Yep.
Here?
Of course. Here. That's a river. Exit ramp. Tree. That's the penguin house at the zoo. But sure.
You're good. He's good. He's good. I'm good.
The Cox High School Hub has been your online source for live coverage of the Ford Game of the Week. Great photos and spectacular highlights. We've brought you the best in Oklahoma high school sports. Now the Hub has teamed up with YurView.com. Go to YurView.com/CoxHSHub and you'll find more live games from around the nation. More stories, photos, highlights, and more of the Ford Game of the Week. Catch it all at its new home on YurView.com. Brought to you by Ford, the best in Oklahoma.
It's Ford Truck Month at your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Our biggest sales event of the year. Now's the time to save on our full line of Ford trucks and Ford SUVs, America's most trusted brand. Save big on Escape, Edge, and Explorer, and the redesigned Expedition. A huge selection, the best offers. Now, current Ford owners get 0 for 60 plus $2,000 cash on Escape and Edge when financed through Ford Credit. Hurry into your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. And if you're struggling with an IRS tax debt of $10,000 or more, I want you to call my friends at the Tax Defense Group. They recently turned a client's $100,000 tax debt into a refund. You gotta love that. So call the Tax Defense Group now. They'll give you a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and they're open 24 hours a day because tax debt doesn't sleep either.
Call 800-992-4813. That's 800-992-4813.
Well, a great day of swimming has come to a close here from the Edmond Aquatic Center. We've already visited with the girls' championship head coach, Bartlesville coach Chad Englehart. You've got some final team scores for us too, Max.
Sure do. Bartlesville brought home the championship easily, kind of as we expected. You can see there on their screen 465.5 points to Edmond Memorial's 247.5. Edmond North 230. Bixby 193, rounding out the top 5. Union at 167. We'll also have the updated men's scores. My math served me well again this evening. I do know my 4th grade teacher, Carol Cubbage, is still alive, so you know, I can give her a shout out too.
Good.
But it is Norman North winning the men's championship, 431 points to Jinx, 413 points. Bartlesville rounding out top 3 and 232. Owasso at 175.
It's great to see some of these schools that, you know, just year after year continue to get it done. And as you said, every once in a while there's a little lull in the program, more so in 5A than what we see in 6A. And 6A, as we take a look, and, you know, we had the team points again right here showing you Norman North, as Max was telling us a bit earlier, coming out on top. Norman North winning state championships in 2013 and 14. And I thought there was a third one in there somewhere. Yeah, they won 3 in a row. It was 13, 14, and 15 that Norman North won. Edmond North won it in 16 and 17. It was Jenks. And then Norman North back to the top of the podium once again.
Yes, last year at the state championship, it was this exact same thing. Jenks had a relay DQ'd in regionals. Norman North had one DQ'd at state. Came down to that last race. I think last year Jinx won it by 2 points. So been kind of nip and tuck for those two teams the last few years.
We can see Norman North coach Kent Nicholson. Well, he was making his way towards our cameras, but it looks like he's stopped now and watching again the trophy presentation, the state championship trophy presentation. They're giving it to the girls now, which I'm guessing means that the boys will be next, so he's going to take care of that duty first. But again, another great performance by Norman North to come out on top and win a state championship. What are some of your other takeaways from the day of racing here, 5A or 6A?
Well, you know, look back, you know, Kate Stewart obviously setting some state records. What a great young lady. It was a pleasure to get to talk to her. You know, to look forward a little bit, you know, Aiden Hayes, 2083 freestyle, 50 free, you know, as a freshman. Exciting, going to be exciting to watch in the coming years, see how he progresses up through the ranks. You know, what we say, 9 records in 5A this morning. Not quite that many this evening, but just how the swimmers keep getting faster. Just, you know, a lot of hope and a lot of excitement for the years to come.
I want to remind everybody that You can again see the 5A championship meet replay will be Tuesday night at 7 o'clock right here on YurView. The 6A meet will replay Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. And you can watch both Ford Game of the Week replays right here. Cox Channel 1333. 5A will come your way on Tuesday night and 6A on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. That's the replay, and we may hit that again before we get out of here yet this evening. So, again, want to thank all of the folks, the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association, the Edmond schools for being very hospitable and in hosting this event, and certainly a great day. And as you can see, the place has been full all morning, all afternoon, and all evening, and watching some of the best in high school athletics here this evening. I want to remind you that Thursday, March 8th, we invite you to check out the quarterfinal round of the state basketball tournament live from the ORU Mabee Center on the Ford Game of the Week. We'll have 2 games in the afternoon and a second set of games in the evening. Be sure to watch the Ford Game of the Week coverage of the first round of the OSSAA State Basketball Tournament right here on YurView. That's Cox Channel 1333. Well, finally starting to clear out here a little bit. It's been a busy afternoon.
Not the fans whose teams are getting trophies, though. There's a vocal crowd. Norman North takes the stand to get their state championship trophy. Good shot of their fans right before that. Lots of hardware around the necks of the individuals up there as they hoist that trophy. Still trying to round up head coach Kent Nicholson. I see him right in the middle. That's the top of his head you see there.
Yep, right.
So, be interested to see if we get him before the big swim or after the big swim. Exciting.
It wouldn't be the first time that we've interviewed a sopping wet coach. That has happened before. Getting pictures there. Coaching staff and the young men that made it all possible is, again, Norman North claiming their 4th state championship since 2013. Amy Castle from the OSSAA. And the question is Coach Nicholson going swimming now, or is he going to make his way over to get the interview done? I don't know.
It kind of looks like neither at this point. He's not wet, and he's walking the other way.
He may be trying to escape.
Could be, could be.
Well, it's been a great day of swimming, and it looks like Chad Englehart is going to get his picture taken here right in front of our table.
He's right in front of us. He's up on the block. See that?
And there he goes.
Oh, the trophy got baptized too.
And here come the rest of the team. Good stuff.
That is great stuff. He did a little better job keeping the trophy up last year. I don't know that the trophy got wet last year. Oh, there goes Ben Harlow. Coach Ben taking the dip. I see Kent behind the blocks. Looks like maybe Kent's getting ready to go for a swim, gathering up his team behind him. Bartlesville down there, their fans saluting their fans. Their fans are all up there in the stands. Hey, brother.
And Coach holding the trophy and treading water at the same time.
Say hi to your mom.
He's still got skills.
Center, and I probably
Great job. Fantastic. All right, well, that's going to do it. Max, thank you so much for getting us through all of this with all your expert analysis. Certainly did enjoy it. It's been a great day. Always have fun.
Steve, it's always great. I enjoy this day. I look forward to it all year long. Countdown's begun for 2019.
All right. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Again, check out YurView.com for all the replay information as it'll be coming your way later this week. I'm Steve Marshall. Have yourselves a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time.